is a get ready with me. Okay, just a little something, something before I get ready for one of my daily lives. So, I just started growing my locks about 2 years ago now, and I color treated, and I do like a style here or there. And I really, really have noticed that my hair does the best when I keep it moisturized. And my regimen of spraying my hair with water and then following it up with Fab Hair International's Moisture Mist leave-in conditioning spray, girl. Listen, it's giving me everything that I need as far as the moisture on a daily basis is concerned. I've tried a lot of sprays and I really, really enjoy not only the way the spray bottle works, but also the way the hair feels moisturized after I've given it a spritz. There are so many great Fab Hair International products to try. And the Stimulate and Soothe Deep Cleansing Shampoo is one of my favorites. It actually gives your scalp a tingling sensation that makes it feel really, really clean. And then the Moisture Mask Deep Conditioning Mask is really amazing as well. Make my hair feel really, really moisturized after I had color treated it. The products are great and were created by a Black woman stylist who came from behind her chair to give her people the products she felt they really deserved. Fab Hair International is for all curls and coils, whatever your hair type. You can find something at Fab Hair International that will suit your specific needs. Right now, you can use my code Bondi15 to get 15% off of your purchase. Go to fabhairinternational.com, take their hair quiz, and find out which products will be perfect for your hair. Be a bougie traveler and shop fabhairinternational.com. Come on in. Come on in. Come on in. Not come on in. Not come. Sorry, y'all. Y'all know I'm weird. Whatever.
Hey everybody, what's up? It's your girl Bondi Blue. So let's go ahead. Let's go ahead. Hey everybody, what's up? It's your girl Bondi Blue. Okay, follow me on Instagram and let's get into the video. Right?
Hey, what's going on, everybody? What's up? Pop my trunk. No one could do it better. Listen, Ike Turner, Eddie Kane. What's going on, everybody? Happy Friday. Happy Friday. Happy Friday, everybody. I hope y'all are having a really good day. I hope y'all start y'all weekend off right. Get this party started right. All right, before we get into it, I would like to remind everybody that the Ooh Ladies First podcast is coming back to Atlanta in September. You heard it here. Get your tickets. Get your tickets at eventbrite.com. That's right. 3 of your faves coming back to Atlanta. Make sure y'all get y'all tickets. Come through. Y'all know we always make sure y'all have a good time. I feel like you get more bang for your buck, okay, with us than anybody else. Okay, listen, you come, you gon', you know what I'm saying? You get VIP, bitch, you got drinks, you got food, you got a good time. It's a good vibe, you know what I'm saying? Like we gonna give y'all a show. We gonna give y'all a experience, okay? Everybody ain't giving y'all an experience, all right? Get into us, all right? Follow us, all right? All right, so I also want to say that this evening, if you are a member of my channel in any capacity, if you're a Patreon member, if you are a BondyBlueShow.com member, if you are a YouTube member, I just sent out the link before this live to the weekly wrap-up show that I am doing for my members only. Yes. And I'm feeling it out, but it's something that I feel like I really want to try to stick with. Not something that's going to be super long, but something that it's like we're going to hit a few key points to wrap up the week. Talk about some things that I've learned, some things that made me laugh, some things that made me emotional, some things that made me think. But y'all know how my conversations get down. So, if you're a member of my channel, I really hope that y'all will enjoy this and we can just keep this going. And then, for instance, instead of me doing like full recaps of Bell Collective, if there's anything that happens on Bell Collective that we want to talk about at the end of the week, we can talk about it in the weekly wrap up. Okay. So that's what I'm going to do. All right. I love you guys. Thank y'all so much for supporting me. Thank you for everybody that is tipping your girl, because you should tip her. You should tip her. Okay. Yeah. So thank you to everybody that is a member of my channel that supports my content, because they know it is hard to be a content creator. This is not an easy job. Me and the girls were just talking about it last night. COVID had y'all fucked up thinking that this was an easy job. So all of the celebrities and shit thought they was gonna come on YouTube and pop off, and some of them have, but a lot of them have not, because YouTube is a job. YouTube takes a lot of effort, and people forget that. I don't know why, okay? It's a one-man band producing a show that comes out every day, like damn near. I don't know why anybody would think this would be easy, okay? But shout out to me. Shout out to y'all. Shout out to us. All right. So yeah, girl. Oh, happy birthday, love. Happy birthday, spiritual conversation. Shout out to all of the what is y'all? What is y'all about to be, Leos? Yeah. Shout out to y'all. I only like some of y'all. I'm not even gonna lie. I like a few of y'all. I'm not gonna front. But unhealed Leos are, people who have personality disorders. Anyway, y'all, it's a joke. I know people don't like jokes that, kind of rain on truth. I know they don't like that, but I don't know what you want me to do, bitch. It's just how my comedic timing shows up. Okay. Yes, they're jokes. Hint of truth. All right. Let's go ahead and get into the show. Like it up. Hype me up. Like it up. Do the things. All right. What's going on? What's going on? Welcome into the room. Come into the room. Let's get into the show. So you guys, are you here for it? Are you excited? Tyler Perry has been renewed for season 4 of Beauty in the Black. Now, this is one of those terrible Tyler Perry shows that I actually enjoy. So am I happy that they're coming back, showing us all the cruelty that the world has to offer? Yeah, girl. Yeah, I think we should continue to look at Tyler Perry projects as, more evidence of the depravities involved in the Black community that are ignored. Okay? And one of the things that are ignored is how y'all talk to one another. Okay? This show, one of the things that sticks out to me the most, besides the fact that, they want us to really like this elder old man that raised these psychopaths that are children, right? You are responsible for these psychopaths, but somehow you get to be the protagonist along with the woman here in the middle that was abused by your psychopathic sons, and now you want to use her. Also, he was gay, but then he wasn't gay, and then he had Angel because he was gay, but then he didn't really want to be gay. Tyler Perry is always working out parts of his psyche in his shows and in his movies. I don't know if y'all peeped it. They said it was canceled and they reversed their decision. I didn't even know that they had canceled it. I don't know why you would cancel this show, because this show did well. So I don't know what that's about. However, this show is like one of them shows that reminds me that people really talk to each other bad as a way of being, and y'all think that it has no real effect on people, like all of this harsh talk. But we're going to get into how all of that harsh talk that they do in this show is very realistic to how people actually talk to each other in families. We're going to get into that later. But I am happy that the show is coming back. I want to see what they have to offer. I really like the main character. I like her. I like her face. You know how people just, I don't know, like some people you just like. She has a thing. She has a it. She has an it factor that I like. Okay. And so yeah, I wanted to see more of her. Honestly, I would like to see more of her outside of the Tyler Perry universe, but y'all know how Tyler Perry will get somebody and keep them. Okay. The show wasn't terrible. It's not terrible, y'all. It actually has like a good story if it can keep up with it. The problem with Tyler Perry is it will start off with a very succinct story where you understand what's going on. It plays out. You get to the end, it all makes sense. And then when we get into further seasons, I feel like we start to get away sometimes from the plot. There's a lot of plot holes. There's a lot of doing shit within the season that's meant to be like a red herring to confuse you. So by the time you get to the end of the season, you thought something was going to happen that never happened. Girl, I tell y'all all the time that Carlos King and Tyler Perry are the same person. Them niggas is just alike, okay? In the way that they produce their content, because they will have you on a hook and you'll watch the whole shit and be like, well, where the fuck was that part that was supposed to be in the trailer? I saw that part in the trailer that didn't make it. Okay. But yeah, y'all, I'm gonna be supporting for sure. I can't wait to see it. And see what treacherous things Tyler Perry comes up for Beauty in the Black. Okay, so congratulations to that show for being reversed canceled. Okay. Another conversation, because y'all know we like to have not just celebrity conversations up here. We like to have regular conversations. Okay, we care about what be going on with the regular people. Okay. Um, can we talk about why y'all want relaxers to come back? Let me because I know I had saved it, girl. Let me refresh again. There we go. I don't know why I gotta refresh 11 fucking times for the shit to show up. Can y'all explain to me why y'all want to go back to to no lie conditioning relaxers? Why do y'all want to go back to this? Now listen, those of y'all that still do relaxers, girl, I'm not really fucking with y'all. Like, you know what I'm saying, right? When I say I'm not fucking with y'all, I mean I'm not like judging you for doing it. However, relaxers cause cancer. Relaxers cause cancer. So I feel like this is something that if you want to partake in, you should not be doing it the way we was doing it in the 90s. Okay? One perm a month, bitch. One relaxer a month is good enough. Okay? And you get you a good hairstylist and you learn how to tangle with your hair a little bit, because a lot of y'all think that, y'all can just always hand off the responsibility of your body onto other people. Okay? Let's see. This is what was on social media. This is a man. So I don't even know why this man is talking about this, but I'm hoping that he's a hairstylist and that's why he's talking about this. But let's read, okay? Unpopular opinion. Bring back relaxers. I know, jump scare. But hear me out. For some people, their lifestyle and routine just can't keep up with natural hair. And as a natural hair stylist, I see it in my chair often. The end result is breakage because they aren't willing to apply the upkeep or simply cannot manage the upkeep, and their hair suffers. A relaxer has been a viable solution in several of those cases. They retain length and it's healthy. So because you relax it, and that means that it's easier for them to manage and they can just come to you to get their hair done. Cause see, that's what I have an expertise in this. I grew up in a hair salon. Okay, so I feel like I have an expertise when it comes to some things surrounding hair and all of that. And this is bullshit to me. The reason why I say that is because I remember in college, I went from natural because I had went natural in high school. When I went to college, I was like, change up, perm my hair. When I tell you my hair was so fucked up, and it was because I was not near my mother. When I had straight hair, my mother is the person that took care of my hair. Like, I had to have a hairstylist when I had permed hair. When you have relaxed hair, you have to be able to go to a stylist. You know why? Because you can't really keep up with your hair anyway. Now, once I decided to cut all of that shit off and I went back natural and then taught myself how to actually take care of my hair as in natural form, which is different than taking care of your hair when it's relaxed, right? It may be easier, but in all honesty, I feel like a lot of you girls don't retain length like y'all say y'all do because y'all don't know how to take care of y'all hair and y'all are too lazy to take care of y'all's hair. That's what I feel like really be going on, okay? But the thing that annoys me is when I think about it, there are ways for you to easily keep up with your natural hair, but y'all don't want to do it because it requires you to wear hairstyles that don't look like a bust down. Like, a lot of women only feel, not only, but they feel more attractive when they have straight hair, especially these days. The girls love a Robin Givens. You know what I'm saying? Like, they want this hair that looks a certain way because they assign straight hair with looking like an adult, with looking classy, with looking more professional, or with just looking like a grown, sexy woman or whatever, they associate that with straight hair. When you have curly hair, when you have hair that you might want to put in a bun or plaits or twists, they will automatically assign child or unattractive to the hairstyles that would retain your natural hair without putting relaxer, which causes cancer on your fucking head. But you know, with everybody, it's up to you, girl. It's up to you. It's up to you. If you are willing, and a lot of people are willing to chance death, cancer, and all kinds of shit for beauty. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, like I just kind of feel like it doesn't matter whether your hair is natural or relaxed. If you don't know how to take care of your hair, you have to go to somebody to get it done. And when you have straight hair and you don't have anybody to do it, your hair is going to get broken off anyway because you don't know how to take care of your hair. Like that's just what it is to me. Okay? In my humble educated opinion as somebody that grew up in somebody's hair salon, okay? And it really is about the texturism of it all. It really is about feeling like you're not as put together, not as attractive, if you're not slicked, if it's not straight, if it's not pushed down, if it's not forced into a style. Like, this is just what it is. But to act as if we should bring relaxers back that cause cancer, that cause alopecia, that cause, I feel like they've done research that said relaxers caused fibroids. Because it's technically it is a toxin that you are putting on the pores of your fucking skull. You're putting, you know, and girl, I grew up in a hair salon, so I'm not really mad at y'all about it, but I do feel like we should not be pushing that we need to go back to something that causes Black women cancer. Like, I don't know what's going on, girl. I don't know what's going on. No, I do feel like people need to learn how to take care of their hair. Okay? Somebody said in the comments, if they can't keep up with their natural hair, they can't keep up with their relaxed hair. Relaxers will have their hair thinned out and them ends broken because people think relaxed hair means less work. Thank you. And I had to find this out on my own because I always had my mom doing my hair. I didn't realize that I really didn't know how to take care of my hair for real. I knew how to style my hair. I knew how to do rollers. I knew, you know what I'm saying? I knew how to deal with straight hair because my mom was there to do my hair as a licensed cosmetologist. But once I was on my own, it was way easier, you know, for me to go natural because once I learned, you know, the lock method, right? Once I learned, you know, liquid oil cream or whatever variation of that. And then, you do styles that keep your hair cute. You do braids, you do twists, you do, the faux locks, and then for me, just cutting my hair off and having a very short cut was very easy for me because all I had to do was get up in the morning, wet it, put some conditioner and, maybe sometimes a little bit of styling gel in that shit. And I was cute and ready to go. And that worked for a very long time because before y'all know, before I did this, I had a short blonde cut for years. And that worked for me. And that was easy, especially because I was always on camera. So I felt like I always wanted to look presentable. Okay. But yeah, to me, this is really about y'all as hairstylists not wanting to deal with people who have a lot of thick hair. That's a lot of the times what I feel like is going on. Okay. Let me read the rest of what he said. And before you come after me with the is anybody worried about their health conversation, first, please research it. Second, you've got more unhealthier things in your life to worry about than a relaxer. Poor diets, toxic marriages, and the list goes on. If it works for you, let it work. But don't yuck a yum if it's not your solution. Y'all like to tussle on this app. No, babe, we're going to yuck the yum on this one. Let me, you know what? He said, let's do our own research. Girl, let's just quickly Google. I know I've seen research about this for years. Okay, but let's see. Do relaxers, hold on, wait, no. Matter of fact, are relaxers harmful? All right, so we Googled it because that's just our first line of, of questioning. The AI overview, when I look at, let's see, the first AI overview comes from the Motley's Rice Attorneys at Law. And this seems to be people that were suing because of relaxers and what they were doing to people. So I feel like that's a reputable source to some degree because it's a law office. So it's hair relaxers and hair strengthening products have been linked to serious health conditions due to toxic ingredients. Consumers have reported reproductive cancers such as uterine, endometrial, and ovarian cancer over hair relaxer. Side effects range from chemical burns to irritation to the eyes, lungs, and skin. And this is because y'all forget that your skin, even the skin on your fucking head, your epidermis, whatever you put on that, it sucks into your bloodstream. Okay. So that's how you would have some of those issues. That's the Motley Rice source. Okay. It's a case overview. Now let's go to some other stuff. Let's see. The National Institute, what's this? National Library of Medicine. Oh Lord. The National Library of Medicine said that relaxers break protein, leading to dry, brittle strands, split ends, and permanent hair thinning or hair loss. That's what the National Institute of Medicine said. He told us to research it, so that's what we doing. Large epidemiological studies, such as those from the National Institute of Health, show that frequent users of chemical hair straighteners face a significantly higher risk of developing uterine, ovarian, and breast cancers. I don't know why he asked us to research it, as if we were going to find different information than what he had already insinuated. Before you ask me about health risks, research it. We researched it. And what we've come to find, based on, reputable sources like the National Institute of Health, which is a .gov, just so we're clear. Let's see. This is it says hair plays an important role in one's personality and builds confidence. Nowadays, chemical hair relaxers are used very commonly in the society. We document the adverse effects reported by the sample that have used any one of the professional chemical relaxers. Aim to study the adverse effects reported by the sample who underwent repeated chemical hair relaxing. Okay? Results. Adverse effects reported by the sample after undergoing the procedure were found to be high, 95.56%, out of which the following are the common adverse effects reported: frizzy hair in 67%, dandruff in 61%, hair loss 47%, thinning and weakening of hair in 40%, graying of hair 22%, split ends in only 17%. Okay? So continuing. Conclusions. Very few studies have been conducted on the adverse effects of hair straightening products in India. From our study, it can be stated that most of the samples had adverse effects, which was as high as 95 point. So basically, at a high rate, you're going to have some issues because of it. Which issues you get, we can't determine. But at high rates, you're going to have some issues because you're frequently using, a chemical on your fucking scalp. Hence, from the details elicited from this study, we can conclude that usage of chemical hair relaxers does cause adverse effects and is not a myth. Thus, it is necessary to make available a less harmful chemical hair relaxer to the society. Okay, so we're trying to do better versions of that. A chance discovery made by Garrett Morgan. Okay, yeah, so that goes into the history of lye relaxers, no lye relaxers, theo relaxers. Yeah, all of that. Now, let's see. Can we find what's a better relaxer? Let's ask. And then they did the test on Indian women. So that's another thing. Who knows what, how it might go up, the percentage of people that catch catch issues and cancers and all of that and adverse effects. It could be more with Black women because of our already high stress levels in our country. Black women a lot of times will have health issues worse than everybody else because of the added on aspect of racism and what that does to the body over time. What they call it, epigenetics. I think, when your whole bloodline has carried DNA of trauma, which makes you more susceptible to getting, diseases and shit like that. Girl, that's what the people say. All right. Let's see. Are there safe relaxers? Let's do that one just in case, y'all. Now, mind you, I'm not telling y'all what to do. My mama is a hair stylist. People are hairstylists. So, of course, y'all want to make y'all money, do what you got to do, but people should be aware. And I think if you are going to get relaxers, y'all should not be people that want to get a relaxer every time your hair curls up a little bit. I think y'all need to do once a month. Okay, once every few months, depending, but you need to lessen the amount of relaxers that you do. Okay. And I asked, are there any safe relaxers? It says here from Motley Rice again, no, there is no such thing as a completely safe chemical hair relaxer. All traditional chemical relaxers rely on harsh, highly alkaline ingredients to permanently alter your hair structure, posing unavoidable risk to your scalp and long-term health. All right. Right. Let's see. Lye relaxers, highly caustic, high risk of immediate scalp burns, breaks bonds quickly, high risk of structural hair damage. No lye, marketed as gentler on skin, but can still cause serious caustic burns, highly drying, causing mineral buildup that leaves hair brittle. Keratin blowout systems often release toxins, formaldehyde fumes when heated, linked to acute kidney injury via skin absorption. So yeah, let's go back to the post. Let's read it again. Because your hair is healthy, but your body is not. And before you come after me with the is anybody worried about their hair conversation, first, please research it. I researched it. It's not healthy. So why do we need to bring them back? To make your life as a natural hairstylist easier? Okay. Y'all just do what's best for y'all, okay? But now at least you have the information and somebody's not just, we need to go back to relaxers because my arms are tired blow drying all your fucking natural hair, bitch. I can't stand you niggas. Okay, y'all, let's talk about y'all favorite white lady, Amber Rose. Okay? Listen, the girls wanted to tussle with me. Remember we were talking about it yesterday? The girls wanted to tussle with me about Amber Rose not being white. Y'all have, they're like, she's not black. She's also not white, sweets. Okay. Having a mom that is of color. I know y'all don't want to identify her mom as black. Have y'all ever seen Amber Rose's mom? I don't know if y'all have. Let's take a quick little look at Amber Rose's mom, because people like to act like blackness is not also how you look at people and how people are viewed from the outside, right? And then when you add how they look with socioeconomic status, right? You add the fact that they're immigrant of some sort, right? So they're a immigrant of color with a lower socioeconomic status, and you are confused on how that would be somewhat of a black person's experience. It's not white. That's why. Okay. And a lot of times when you add things together, it will give you what some people might call a somewhat black experience. Okay. Not because it's synonymous with being poor or anything, but because at large, generally, a lot of black people have a similar experience. That's why they lived in the neighborhood with her. Okay. Just to be, because y'all act like all of the nuance and shit don't matter. But I don't care about whether y'all want to identify her or her mom as black. I don't care. Like, to me, the life that you live says a lot. And if your mom is of color and struggled, and you had a racist white dad and you were poor, girl, I don't know. I don't know what y'all want me to do. Okay? But when I see a lady that look like that look like a black lady to me. And a lot of y'all think that, yeah, she's Cape Verde. Yes, I said it. She's Cape Verdean. I don't know why people that are mixed with indigenous and African and European of some sort, I don't know why you don't consider those people the same type of black as American black people that are also mixed with Native African and some type of white rapey person. I don't know why y'all don't see those two things is very similar. But either way, this lady is not white. And if a white person saw this lady, a white person would say she's black. And a lot of the times that's what we're talking about when we talk about these things. It's not how we as Black people view a person. It's a lot of the times how the white people are going to view you and subjugate you because of it. No, her mom is very beautiful. That's why I say her mom kind of reminds me of my mom and a lot of the women that I've grown up around in New Orleans, because a lot of them look like this and a lot of them are considered in our world, in our culture, they're Black women. A lot of them that even look like this have 2 Black parents, or people that were categorized as Black back when we still had a government-wise casting system that would tell you if you were Black based on if you had a Black grandparent or a Black parent of some sort, or a non-white parent for sure. Okay? The point that I was merely trying to make with Amber Rose is that regardless of how Amber Rose is trying to hold on to whiteness like it's going to save her from her whole ship, no, okay? It's not, because essentially your upbringing, your experience by proxy of dealing with life in America with a mother that looks like this is not one of a, lily white woman that hasn't had to deal with the socioeconomic and fucked up issues that Black people deal with in our society. That's the point I'm making. Her experience is very much that of the girls that she grew up around. She's just considered to be white, biracial, or light-skinned, right? So she's going to be seen as more attractive because of that, because colorism, right? But the makeup is very much the same. But y'all always feel like, no, you're not Black if you're not like American, I guess. I don't know. Girl, I don't know. I don't know what everybody's on. But I just know when white people look at you, if you look like her mama, you're Black. And if Black people look at you and you white, you've been Afflecked. You know what I mean? But I just wanted to, come back to this because I don't know why, that was like, y'all will miss the point of the conversation so we can argue about shit that could be factually, not necessarily the case, but you're ignoring the greater point here that is accurate, which is that this girl did not grow up having the experience that most little white girls experience. She did not. You know why? Because her mom looked like that. Okay? All right. I just want to be clear, because it was just like, girl, I don't know what anybody is arguing with me about. Like, people that got a mama like that. You know, if your mama look like that. Cape Verde is a island off the coast of Africa. And they are mixed up just like the people here in America, but somehow we've determined that still doesn't equate to Black if you're not in America. If you have the same basic genetic makeup of a Black person from Louisiana, you are not Black if you're not from America, as far as some Black people are concerned. And I'm just like, okay. And again, tell them white people that. You ain't got to tell me that. I don't have any power to give or take away from Amber Rose and her mama. But have that conversation with white people when y'all want to talk about if somebody is Black or not. A lot of times I feel like that's the point we're missing, is that how white people see you in a system of racism, a lot of times that's really what matters. That is what curates your experience here, is how white people are going to assess whether you're white or Black. I don't know why everybody's arguing with a Black woman about this. Child, that's how I feel. I feel like anything that come from African people or come from indigenous people that are normally dark complected people, you're Black. You know what I'm saying? A lot of the times. But things get more complicated when you get into your octoroons and quadroons and all of that shit, which she is, right? She's like an octoroon or a quadroon or some shit. Okay. And those people are very problematic. Though, there are a lot of biracial women that are very problematic. And that's been talked about this week as well. We're gonna have a little conversation right after this. That wasn't even in my notes. Bitch, let me put that in there. Let me put that in there before we move on to that. You know what I'm saying? Lotto and a Doja. Let's put that in there. All right. So let's get into what they said. And I just felt like we might enjoy this story because of the title. It said Amber Rose sues members only Beverly Hills Club, saying falling ornament caused vertigo and memory problems. Girl, let's read. Amber Rose says a New Year's Eve celebration at a Beverly Hills club turned into a nightmare after a holiday decoration allegedly fell on her head. The model filed a lawsuit July 21st against members only club Gravitas operator Moxie Restaurant Ventures and Cellulose Designs over the December 2024 incident. According to the complaint, Rose was sitting in a booth beneath decorative spheres when, without warning, the suspended sphere detached and fell onto the plaintiff's head. I'm sorry, y'all. This gave karmic, okay? You mean to tell me you was sitting your bobblehead ass somewhere and something just randomly fell and hit you in the fucking head? I don't know why I feel like that's got to be some type of like karmic thing. And I don't like to say shit like that because, you know, people think if they don't like you, anything bad that happened to you, that's your karma, bitch. Rose maintains she never touched the ornament or its mounting system. She claims the impact caused dizziness, blurred vision, nausea, confusion, neck pain, and a loss of consciousness before she was transported to Cedar Sinai Medical Center. This is a woman that is in contact with physical therapists and doctors that know what language to use in order to get you a good settlement, girl. Okay? Listen, the suit, maybe if she gets this settlement, she'll stop coming to us trying to rage bait us about race relations on the internet. Okay? The suit alleges Rose suffered a concussion and continues experiencing headaches, vertigo, fatigue, memory issues, anxiety, irritability, and trouble completing daily tasks. She argues the decoration created a concealed and unreasonable risk of serious injury if it was not properly secured or supported by secondary restraint. Rose is seeking compensation for medical treatment, rehabilitation, lost earnings, and pain and suffering. Her legal team said it remains focused on securing a prompt, professional, and appropriate resolution while protecting her rights. This is how grifters will also get their money, okay? So when somebody is a grifter, they try to get their money by any means necessary, okay? Whether it is by promoting harmful ideologies on the internet so that, you know, they can rage bait you and get a lot of views, right? That's a grifting, scammy type thing to do as far as I'm concerned. I know people may not agree with that, but I think it's kind of scammy, okay? You're either up here projecting your own bullshit onto the public as if it's fact, or you're projecting your ignorance onto the public as if it's fact. But either way, leave us alone. I don't know why you got to come talking to us. Go talk to the white people. But the white people, when they look at you, they don't see white. That's why you can't go over there and talk to them about this shit. That's why you always have to find some, you know, black man to go and talk to about this bullshit, because white people are not going to look at Amber Rose and see her as a white woman. Even though we as black women might look at Amber Rose and see her as a white woman, the white people aren't going to look at her like that. They're not. Especially when they think about all of the big black dick she's had. And y'all know how much white men love to obsess about big black dick. I almost feel like one of the reasons why Amber Rose decided to, you know, become a bald head muse for abusive rapper black men is because of big black cock and how it upsets racist white men. One of racist white men's favorite things to obsess and also simultaneously hate. Okay, they want to bite it. They don't know what they want to do. Is black penis. And so I think Amber Rose does a lot of things. Like, as a person, she seems to be a personality that when hurt or feeling rejected, she then will act out and be very like petty and vengeful towards whoever she feels is responsible for her humiliation or whatever, right? So your white dad abandoned you. So what's the first thing you do? You go find, you know, black rappers, you know, that say that America doesn't care, you know, not Trump child, well, he don't, but Bush don't care about black people. You go and steal him from his little college girlfriend, right? So that you can get big black cock, upset white daddy, right? You go through the big black cocks, then you get to that last one that left you for an old white bitch. Oh my God, right? We get back in contact with our dad. We've had a tumultuous relationship with our black and or biracial mama, whatever the fuck y'all want to call it. But the black mama put her in the black community. So, well, the mom that y'all say is not black, put her in the black community, right? To be picked apart and made fun of and made to feel like you just think you all that because you white, that type of thing, right? So that happened. issues with black mama, but black mama was your only option because white daddy abandoned you, right? So at first, you're mad at him. Once you eventually realize these niggas ain't shit, you stop being mad at your white daddy, go back to really being mad at your black mom, and now we're gonna go and do MAGA to make the black people upset because the black people made me mad. Okay? And so now I'm gonna rage bait them on the internet. Yeah. She needs to figure out a way to stop projecting her issues onto the world. Cause that's what she tends to do. I got an issue with my fucking, racist ass abandoning deadbeat daddy. I'm gonna go get a whole bunch of BBC. I'm mad at my, y'all say not black, but very island, colored, problematic, might be mentally unstable mama. Girl, I'm going against the black community. I'm telling y'all that racism is not real, even though my childhood is proof that racism exists, because the reason why I grew up in the lowest socioeconomic status that I grew up in is because of what? Everybody say it together. Racism. Okay? Whether your mom is not white or an immigrant, she was going to get treated less than because of racism. You were going to be living in poverty with other children that treated you badly because they were also living in impoverished neighborhoods. Why, Amber? Racism that you now like to act like doesn't exist. Very, very interesting shit. Either way, I actually hope she gets her money from them people. But I also feel like this is what happens when you love to be around conservatives that like to cut corners so that they don't have to pay for shit. People are always getting hurt. Okay? When you don't like to pay for shit, people are always getting hurt. Okay? It is what it is. Let's move on. Amber. All right, now let's move on to TikTok really quickly because I want to watch a content creator's video talking about Lotto and Lotto.
My name is
because a lot of people have said this. Okay, so shout out to the Safe Place app. All right, we're gonna take a listen to her content. All right, follow the people. Y'all know when I put somebody up here, this is not to steal their content. Okay, this is to use their content in mind, but also to shout out the people. Okay, shout out the people. So let's take a listen on the Safe Places commentary on this new Lotto and Doja Cat video.
Pierre, and I am the creator of the Safe Place app. The Safe Place app is a mental health app for the Black community, and we teach how racism impacts the mental health of the Black community. July is Minority Mental Health Month, and I'm continuing my series on how does colorism in media impact Black mental health. Reminder that colorism is prejudice or discrimination against darker skin tones. Lotto just dropped a new music video called OK featuring Doja Cat, and I want to break down why this music video is so colorist and degrading to dark-skinned Black men. The first scene, Lotto is in lingerie. She's feeling sexy on this big bed and it has some silky black sheets. And the black sheets turn into dark-skinned Black men with do-rags on. So the scene above me is what I'm talking about, and you can't even see their faces. Due to colorism, a lot of times dark-skinned Black men and dark-skinned Black women are over-sexualized and used as sexual props in music videos. They're literally being used to represent the black sheets on her bed while she's being sexual. And I feel like this is really dehumanizing in a way. The dark-skinned Black men were used as props throughout this entire music video. Right here, you can see Lotto and Doja Cat in front, and in the back, the dark-skinned Black men are being used as servants to wash their cars. This scene reminded me of the plantation. During slavery, enslaved biracial Black people were in the house, and dark-skinned enslaved Black people were in the fields doing the harder labor. Honestly, the whole music video gave plantation vibes because dark-skinned Black people were used for sex and labor, and this is what this video is representing. I also have to point out that since Doja Cat and Lotto are both biracial Black women, due to colorism, they are usually put on a pedestal in mainstream media. Neither of them are unaware that they are seen as a preference, and that's why they can get away with videos like this. Also, this isn't the first time that Lotto has portrayed dark-skinned Black men as servants in her music video. This is from her video Business and Personal, so I'm starting to see a pattern. Images like this can impact the mental health of dark-skinned Black men and boys. Little dark-skinned Black boys shouldn't have to grow up thinking that they're only going to be valued for sex and labor. This is extremely colorist. My name is
Jasmine.
Jasmine Pierre, and
Shout
I
out to Jasmine Pierre. You know, I agree with her. I also feel like people don't want to look that deeply into Lotto's whole thing because they really like Lotto. Lotto's very attractive. You know what I'm saying? Um, Doja has been called out on her racism because she's not as attractive. Also, the difference is Doja dates white men. So a lot of the times how we end up feeling about these people is kind of filtered through black men. Okay? So because everybody's male centered in the black community for the most part, everything is filtered through how black men are going to see it, right? So when you look at Doja Cat is a woman that y'all have seen doing race play with white men. So y'all then hate her. And she's done problematic things, said problematic things. Like she likes problematic, racist, fucked up white men. Like that's a thing for her. But I feel like she's also like Amber Rose. That whole thing is about her hating that damn daddy, the black daddy. Okay. She had a white mom that was there and a black daddy that was not. So what do? We go get with racist white men and be their, biracial girl fetish, low key to get back at our black dad for not being there for us because we know this pisses off black men. So by proxy, pissing off black daddy. Okay. Same shit with Amber Rose, just in reverse. Okay. And then you have Lotto. Lotto had a black father. Lotto had a white mother, but Lotto's black daddy was around. So Lotto dates and is in relationships, romantic relationship with black men. Okay. And not only is it she in relationships with black men, but she feels as if she is better based on low body count and being loyal to a nigga that's for everybody. All right. That's something that a lot of white women do in relationships with black men, and black men create triangulation between black women and white women. Okay. So in order because I don't know why black men can't just be with white women without but they're doing the same thing. That's why I feel like it's so crazy how the intention seeps through, right? Because to me, Lotto's dad fits the stereotype of a black man that ends up with a white woman out of spite to black women. Okay, he's mad at his mom about something, right? His mom probably was mean or harsh or some stupid shit. Or she might have been a good mom and the dad wasn't there, so he blames the mom for it. Child, whatever the fuck it is, black daddy gets with white woman out of spite, triangulates white woman with other black women, has biracial child is technically black in the in the world. The way white people are going to view this white woman's child is that you have a black child, you've had black cock. And to most white people, once a white woman has gotten BBC, you are persona non grata because the men are going to be thinking about the big black cock you've been with. And they're not going to like thinking about that in competition to whatever they have going on because, racially they be having dick envy, right? So you are the biracial child of a white mother that's been taught she can't go back to her white community. And she with a black man that tells her that she's better than black women because of all of these reasons. She's going to, in some ways, put that on the biracial daughter. Okay? The actual underlying racism that is there because you like black men. You don't like black women, but your daughter is now somewhat of a black woman. Not completely, but in the way people are going to view this white woman, right? When she goes around white people, they're going to say you got a little black girl right there. She might be biracial, but in front of a white person, she's black. Okay? So you don't really like that. But you also kind of love your kid. But you instill in her the things that made you feel good about yourself as a woman, which is your whiteness in comparison to black women. That's how that white woman's self-esteem is built up. By the time, Lotto is a grown adult woman after being with a black man and all of that type of shit. Your confidence is predicated on the stupid shit that black man told you about how you're better than black women because you're weaker. In some respect, you're weaker, you're softer, whatever you're going to allow him more bullshit, girl, whatever the fuck they made up in their head about you. That's a stereotype about white women. Yeah, that's the reason why you feel good about yourself. Most women, that is what they teach their daughters. How I feel good about myself, that's what I teach my daughter. So now, because she is black, she still has to find a way to make herself better than other women because her mom's self-confidence is predicated off being better than a group of women. Lotto has to do the same thing. She has to find a group of women to make herself better than. You don't really want to do that with black people because you're in the black community. So what else do you have? Body count. Because essentially, whiteness in the system of racism is always attached to a form of purity. So now she, because that's most of her music. Y'all tell me most of her music is the nigga like me more because all of the other niggas haven't had access to me. So he likes me more. And because I'm easier for him to deal with and I just want the dick and all of that shit, right? So yeah, the fact that you then do this video with all dark-skinned black men, very much fetishizing them, even though a lot of them are okay with their own, dehumanization because it makes them feel attractive. And a lot of the times the only thing that makes people feel good is other people being attracted to them, regardless to the context in which it's in, right? Like they're fetishizing you. So there's a lack of respect for you. But they do want to fuck you. And yeah, girl, yeah. It's a good song. Okay. It's a good song. Yeah, I don't know about, the age and all of that, but I do know the mentality of the men and the women that are in these relationships. And I grew up in Louisiana, y'all. And after Katrina, I was in an area that was saturated with interracial couples. I've been around, I've dated biracial, I've been, child, listen, I have been around my fair share of these people in order to be able to assess what really be going on underneath. And people don't like to admit that this is what's going on underneath, but that's their fucking business. Okay? But I don't understand, making yourself feel better on the back of other women when the men are willing to treat you all the same way. That's another thing. All of these niggas are going to be disrespectful at some point. Varying degrees of disrespectful shit. I don't know why that means you're better. I don't know why, I don't even understand a lot of times why women's self-confidence has to be, because I'm better than somebody else. Why am I always, why am I always comparing myself to somebody else in order to feel good about me? I should feel good about me because I'm fucking me. Because I'm me, bitch. Not in opposition of anybody else, but in my own little corner, in my own little chair. If I like me, I don't need to compare myself to other people in order to like me. That bitch could be fine. That bitch could be fine. You know what I'm saying? And so can I. We got to work on these things. We got to work on these things, women. Okay? Because a lot of your lower energy, your lower sacral energy comes from feeling like you're only really attractive if you're more attractive than somebody else. And that is not true. That is not true. Be yourself, okay? That way, your personality shines through. Your personality is like a motherfucking fingerprint. At the end of the day, you are one of you. There can only be one you. So be the most of you. That way, if people fucking with you, they fucking with you for who you are and not all of this other shit, like all of this dumb shit. But yeah, y'all, that's what they're saying about Lotto and Doja. And to be clear, y'all know I'm a huge Doja fan. Even with all her problematic shit, I think she's one of the best rappers out. I love how she is artistically. And what this means for me is that depending on who I like and who I don't like, okay, I'm not going to throw you away because the world fucked your head up. I don't like Amber Rose. But Doja is an artist. I don't have to like her personally in order to like her music. As long as you haven't trafficked anybody, as long as you haven't done any like fucked up shit to other people and children, I don't give a fuck about your weird hangups that you need to figure out, especially if you're not forcing it on the public. And to me, I feel like Doja be being weird, but Doja isn't trying to get other people to be weird with her. She's just being her weird self. Amber Rose wants other people to be like her. You know what I'm saying? She wants other people to think the way that she does. And Lotto, you know what I'm saying, is another one where it's like I'm not completely you know, like you ain't shit. It's not like that, but it is a girl. Any woman that thinks she's better than another woman because she wants to get the admiration of a man, I don't like nobody like that. I'm sorry. All y'all work on my nerves with that shit because I feel like y'all have to start understanding that you can't have a oh my god, girl. You cannot have that energy about a nigga that don't have that energy about you. And I'm talking about for real, for real. As a woman, the way men act stoic, I feel like women should be acting that way. I'm so very, very sorry, but I find it weird the way women have to be real beggy about men. I mean, we might as well just talk about that for a second before we get into other things. Speaking of people being beggy about men, girl, let me pull up what the girls put in the DMs this morning. Okay, shout out to the Ooh Ladies First podcast. Are y'all coming to our show in Atlanta? Have any of y'all gotten tickets? Are y'all coming? Shout out to my girls because they put this in a DMs. I don't even know if I would have saw it. I saw this shit and scroll because there's so many times I see shit. And I'm like, I don't, girl, whatever. I scroll past it. Okay, I scroll past it. But yeah, no, we can have a little conversation real quick about this. Because there's conversation. And I think we can talk about what the issue be. Okay. When we talk about women that energetically come off like they're trying to prove they're worthy of a man, that's gross. That's gross. Okay. I get it. I absolutely get it. But men will have a take it or leave it attitude, and women will then feel like, well, I have to take it because I love him and we love each other. And so I have to do all of these things. And y'all can't tell me I'm wrong because Shamia told Kelly that because that man paid $70,000 for some teeth, she owes him 70,000 blowjobs. Girl, what? Let's think about that in real time. I know people just say shit, but let's act, because I hate the fact that people just say shit. But let's talk about that for a second. If a man has $70,000 to spend on teeth, that means he has disposable income, a lot of disposable income, which means he's not hard up for the money. So when he pays for this is a swipe of a card. Okay? When you say a woman needs to perform 70,000 individual moments of fellatio to a man for swiping a card, spending disposable income, you got it fucked up. It's fucked up in there somewhere, okay? It's fucked up in there somewhere. I heard Dominique Morgan say in a clip this morning about how she went down on a nigga so bad one time, she had to lather Vaseline on her mouth after the fact. Because you know what happened when you do too much, right? The sides start to crack and get dry and shit. And so then the sides of your mouth be hurt. Bitch, I was young at one point. I'm not young no more. I'm a Gemini, so I still like to be very good at things. But girl, what? And that wasn't even because I was doing it too much. That was because, listen, let's take a look. Because this is Shamia. Top of my life. 9-year anniversary of her, girl. Now, don't get me wrong, y'all. I think that Shamia is attracted to Gerald because Gerald is attractive. Even as an old nigga, he's in good shape. He's got good skin, good smile. He's a good-looking man to me. Is he Kenyan? I can't remember. He looked Kenyan. But this is what was put together. It looks like, you know, she got this all put together for a staycation for their anniversary. This is lovely, right? Lovely. This is all for him. Look, y'all, look at the attention to fucking detail. Behind every strong woman is a man who loves her fearlessly. And don't get me wrong, to my king. And y'all, I feel like this is to make sure that Gerald feels appreciated, because it is embarrassing for people to keep calling your wife and the mother of your children a whore on national television. That's why. Yeah, that's what I thought. Child, you could tell them Kenyans, boy. Girl, oh, that dress is so pretty. Child, that's how my mama used to be for Christmas. Niggas will buy you one big thing or a couple of big things. A woman will go and spend hours in a fucking mall. This is back in the 90s. Shopping for name brand, nice quality shit that he can wear day to day. She will go and buy a wardrobe for this nigga. He bought her some jewelry. He bought her a coat, bought her a bag. But she is about to go and use all of this extra energy, not to just get one big gift, but to go and get this nigga a plethora of options to wear throughout the week. I feel like my mom used to do the same shit, right? Like every fucking Christmas, birthday, anniversary, Christmas and anniversary is the same thing. So Christmas, anniversary, birthday, the way she would be in the mall putting together thousands of dollars worth of a wardrobe. Do you understand me? And I'm not mad about it because at the end of the day, I feel like you do what you do for the people that you love, and hopefully they're doing the same shit for you or giving you what you need in response. But there is a level of, and I say this all the time, when you are with a older rich man, you have to work for that life. There's so many women that seem to think that you don't have to convince these niggas that you're worth the money that they're spending on you. But even when you're married to them, you do. You do. Shamia is doing all of this, and Shamia moves in their relationship like she always is trying to prove that she's worthy of him. When at the end of the day, no. You don't have to prove anything. You deserve everything that nigga can afford to give you. Like, just based off how you look and who you are. And if I'm really being petty, based on you guys' age difference. But the way women feel is like, oh, well, he could have any woman. If it wasn't me, it would be some other woman in this spot. So I have to show him that I'm so appreciative, 24/7, 365 black. So I'm willing to stretch out the sides of my mouth sucking dick. I'm willing to, show up to our anniversary with only gifts for him because I want to prove something. And yeah, I don't like it. It's an energy thing, y'all. It's not the actual act of giving the gift, right? Stop playing Jenga with everything. I've noticed this thing, right? Everybody wants to play fucking Jenga when we talk about things. You talk about something in the actual context of the story that you're talking about, and they take a little piece of it and pull it out. Well, what's wrong with shopping for your man? Bitch, didn't I just say all of this contextual shit as to say why I feel like there's an issue with it, and then you just totally ignore and jump over that? Same thing she did with yes, it is how she moves. She moves from a place of fear of abandonment, of not knowing who she is and what she looks like, and like just not truly grasping who she is and how she should be carrying herself because of it. All of this bending that she does around people, she did it with Portia. Like, she's always bending herself and lowering herself to other people energetically. Energetically, this is something that Shamia is doing, and I don't like it. And it does remind me of the exact same desperation that I think Lotto has for these niggas, or for that main nigga. And I'm going to just say that I feel like Doja Cat may not necessarily have. And that's another reason why I would probably like Doja a little bit more than Lotto, because I feel like whatever Doja got going on, she's probably giving them white niggas the blues. Whereas I feel like Lotto is over here trying to figure out how to continue to be number one on his list. You know what I'm saying? And I just feel like at some point you recognize that you are number one, and there's no convincing or performing. Like, it is what it is. You know what I mean? Yeah. You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? It's just, And And because she's so toned up and he's so chill, it automatically makes everybody feel like she's doing too much. But I feel like, he appreciates the fact that she does too much. Because niggas like that, like niggas always want you to be proven that you feel grateful for what they doing for you. And the way that nigga be buying shit, she's probably always in the energy of having to prove I'm appreciative by doing all of this extra shit all the time. I gotta prove it, I gotta prove it, I gotta prove it. Whereas I feel like he's not doing shit for her to prove how he's valuable as a man. It's an extension of the fact that he's valuable. And I feel like it should be the same way for her. You know what I'm saying? I don't think that he's doing anything to prove anything to her. He's doing it because I'm a nigga with money. And so that's why I feel like for her, stop trying to prove that you are deserving. You deserve it, bitch. You don't have to prove it to anybody. Oof. Girl. Yes, I do remember. Let me see. Shamia doesn't know when to land the plane. She does, take things, But there is something about her quirkiness that I don't want to admonish. There's something about her weirdness and her goofiness that I don't want to admonish because, I feel like it's okay for Black girls to be weird. I feel like she need to feel like it's okay for her to be weird. And she acts like she does, but she really doesn't. A lot of it, it just, the energy feels like I'm trying to prove. Nothing to prove, girl. And I think that's the main issue a lot of people don't realize they have with Shamia is that Shamia is that girl, but acts like she doesn't know it. And that's unfortunate. So pray for the girls. All right, y'all, let's move on. Let's move on to some of these parents, okay? First of all, Cardi B was on the internet and she said something and I didn't agree with it. I'm sorry. So let's have a conversation because I feel like people don't understand things at times. Let's have a conversation.
I would let my sons have girlfriends and everything. However, if my sons ever tell me that they have a girl pregnant, that is the day. I'm not the type of mom that is like, no, you can't have girls over and everything. I'm not that type of mom. But the day that you tell me that you got a girl pregnant, it will be the day that you will have to get the fuck out of my house. And it's not because I'm mean. It's because once you make grown man decisions, you have to be a man. Okay? Once you decide that you're going to be that once you do a dumb decision to get a girl knocked up, that means you have to become a man. And when you become a man, it's no mommy's money, it's no daddy's money, it's no mommy's roof. You have to get out of my house and you have to get a job and you got to learn how to be a man. I'll let my sons have
Okay. So I feel like this is when you think the way your parents raised you was smart, so you gonna do it with your kids, but it doesn't really make sense when it comes to you because you're rich. The reason why a lot of Black people would kick their kids out for getting pregnant, not on or getting somebody pregnant, is because first of all, they couldn't afford to have another mouth to feed, and you just brought them another mouth to feed on top of your own, and you're not helping. And a lot of times kids will take advantage of living in the household with a parent and just leave the child with you and know you're going to take care of it because that's your grandbaby and it's a fucking baby, right? So I understand where her mindset is coming from, but you're not poor. If you think it makes sense to be rich like you are, afford your children the education and the access that they've had, allow them the space to possibly have sex, and then if a baby comes from the sex and they want to keep the baby, you're going to then kick him out onto the street to force him to be a man, as if you don't have the money to make sure he can take care of himself, and that wasn't always the plan from the beginning? Why, when he gets somebody pregnant, do you now want to withdraw all of the aid that you were already going to give him? Because it's a punishment. Because it's a punishment for having a child before he was able to take care of himself. That's why. I don't think that would be the best way to handle that situation. I don't. First of all, it would definitely be she gonna keep it? Well, okay. But it's gonna be your responsibility. And then you give him a timeline. But kicking them out onto the street or making them move in with the girl, I don't think that that's necessarily the best way to handle it. But I do think it's perpetuating a cycle, because if he doesn't have any way to make money, how is he going to make money? And y'all don't think about what it does to people mentally when you throw them out on the street and all they have is their connection to you as their rich parent. I think that Cardi B's kids are probably going to be making money by the time they become teenagers. So if you decide to kick them out, it won't really matter, because they'll probably have the income to take care of themselves any fucking way. It won't even really matter. But to act like you're not about to be the abuela, girl, please. You're going to be the abuela. You're the abuela. You're going to be the abuela, girl. Stop it. Y'all have to stop creating the space for these children to be hyper focused on relationships and fucking, because that's all you're focused on for real. And then when they go out into the world and do the very things that y'all are kind of grooming them to do, now you want to punish them and kick them out on the fucking street. Cardi, you are one of those people that I feel like you really have to go sit down with somebody and talk to them about your childhood. Because, a lot of people, and I grew up like this too, to where you don't recognize how fucked up some of the shit was because it was normal in your household. And some of the things made you make better decisions, right? But at the same time, y'all, it's still kind of crazy to throw children out of a home and throw them onto the street when they get somebody pregnant or get pregnant. I think that's kind of crazy. I feel like, why are you withholding the basics that you are already ready to give, especially if you have money? You know what I'm saying? Like, you were already going to continue to help taking care of this young man until he was able to do what he needed to do. You add a baby onto that, and you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Maybe it's just me. At the end of the day, people do what they want to do. But I thought rich people didn't do this. Like, in my mind, y'all are always trying to be poor black people or poor people of color with white people's money, right? White people do not do this. Like, they do a lot of other shit that's fucked up. But they're never going to throw their children out into the street for getting somebody pregnant. A lot of if they have money, they're just not going to do that. You're going to go work at daddy's firm. You're going to get your own place. We're probably going to help you get it. You're going to go work at your dad's firm or whatever the fuck. You're going to work the job, and you're going to take care of the girl and the fucking baby. But they provide them a way to take care of themselves. They don't just throw them out into the fucking street. They have the money. They have the influence. They get them a job. They get them a place to stay, and they make them handle it on their own. I agree with that. But to just be like, I'm not helping you at all, I think it's fucked up, because I feel like you're just punishing them for having sex. That's what I think. I think you're punishing them for having sex. I'm not saying they don't ever kick their white kids out. I think, middle class, but very rich people, I don't see very rich people kicking kids out for having children, because eventually they want them to have children anyway. White people were forced to abort. No, they would do this. A girl might go missing. They'll do other shit. But I don't know if they will force poverty on their kids the way black people and, non-white people like to make sure that their kid is struggling in some aspect. I also feel like if your kid does go and get somebody pregnant, I think it's your fault. I think it's your fault because I think you're hyper focused on relationships. You're hyper focused on some man. You on your money too, but you're hyper focused on relationships and men. So I don't know how you think your children are not going to then grow up to be hyper focused on relationships as well. I hope your children, with the education and all that you afford them, are like the Smith kids, and they're smart and they have access to different things, so they turn out to be different types of children, right? But we gonna have to wait and see. Solange had to get married. Remember that? And I don't think that was necessarily a good decision. Because when you make people raise kids that they don't really want to raise, they abuse them or they neglect them. Let's see. Somebody in a comment said to me, that's why a lot of kids feel entitled and are lazy as fuck. I'm like, so you think that children are lazy and entitled because if they accidentally get somebody pregnant or they get pregnant, they're not kicked out of their home? You think that makes people entitled and lazy? I think when y'all are old, y'all have mindsets that y'all haven't really thought about. That's not why people are entitled and lazy. First of all, who the fuck is lazy? Y'all don't even want to have a larger conversation about why y'all think people are lazy in a system that's actually overproducing. We're so used to exploitive labor that when kids come into this world, like, I don't really like this shit. This too much. I don't really want to do this. You want to call them lazy and make it seem like something is wrong with them instead of recognizing that the system that we live in takes a lot of prestigious fortitude. It takes a lot of energy to live in the world that we live in, especially here in America, that is hyper focused on work and producing to an exploitive, gross point. So even I don't know what kids you're calling lazy. I don't know who you're calling lazy. I don't know whose kids you're talking about. But I said rich people's kids. So you feel like rich people's kids are lazy and entitled because they don't get kicked out onto the street. You don't think it's because their parents have been paying to get rid of problems that they've had, or not even and when I'm talking about, I mean in childhood, that don't be about them children. That be about protecting y'all. Y'all will pay, y'all will push kids through, y'all will ignore whatever it is, whatever issues that they have to protect your ego as a parent. They become adults and are used to y'all cleaning up messes. And you think that's the same thing as, me saying you shouldn't just throw children out on the street if they decide to go through with having a child early on. Yeah, because I feel like everybody deserves a place to live and food and healthcare. And I think if you were already willing to give that to your kid because you had it to give because you're rich, I don't think you should completely withdraw any type of aid from them because that's not really going to help them. If they're used to having a certain level of lifestyle, it is going to cause, they're not just going to bounce back. Like, what you think your son going to do if he doesn't have a way to make the money because he's not with you? Even though I think that's unrealistic. I think that the children from these celebrities will have figured out ways to make millions of dollars before they even reach the age of 21. So if she kicks him out, he'll have money. It won't even be a big deal. She'll be babysitting. She'll be like, oh, my grandbaby. The fuck out of here with that shit. It's wild to kick your kids out of the house. As a parent, I would never. Slavery in America never ended, babe. No, it didn't. It just transitioned. It just moved around. If you don't want kids, don't have them. I don't care. If you get pregnant, don't do what you don't want to do. Spare the kids that reality you don't want to give them. It's actually lazy to give up on parenting when your children present as difficult, when your children present as difficult. It is. 100% agree. Folks shouldn't be homeless nor hungry here. And you damn sure shouldn't be homeless or hungry and your mama is a fucking millionaire. I don't think that's how anything should work. But I also think if you do a good job raising your kids, they won't, and this is, y'all know I'm sparingly, because kids can still be fucked up and try to take advantage of their parents, no matter how good you try to parent them. But a lot of times people don't want to admit where they failed in parenting. So we can't even really truthfully assess that. But I just don't feel like what she's saying is something that she should be doing, because she is not a lower middle class person who doesn't have the money to help take care of a child. You do. You're not going to lose anything by making sure that your son and grandchild at least have a place to stay. I would actually be like, I'm going to pay a down payment. We're going to get you a job with somebody that we know, and you're going to take care of yourself and this girl and this baby. You're not going to be at my house dropping that baby off every time you get tired. You decided to lay up and have a child. You need to be responsible and take care of it. She decided to keep it. She needs to be a good mother and not just rely on the fact that you have money. And hopefully whoever he impregnates will be another person with money, so it won't even be no situation like that. And that's usually what happens. Usually these kids are around their peers financially. But I don't like that she keeps an old school mindset when that was about poverty. You're not poor anymore, girl. You're not poor. And you can create the boundaries, but not throw your kid out when they have the stress of a fucking baby on the way. I don't know if I think that's the best decision to make. So if you're not trying to fuck over your kids, maybe it will behoove you to make sure you're staying on top of them about their education when it comes to sex, letting them know what the boundaries are going to be, making sure that they can take care of themselves even before they get to teenage year. Like, y'all got to be raising these children to be able to take care of themselves in case they do shit like this. But a lot of times y'all don't even be raising children to take care of themselves for real, because you want them to stay in a child's place in everything, except for when you want to put some responsibility on them that you don't want to handle, right? And then in order to punish them for thinking they're grown by having sex, which you're okay with them having as long as a baby doesn't come from it. Girl, I don't know what's going on with the people. Yeah, you're going to kick them out on the street. And then what? I just started watching you. And when I say you speak on some real topics, thank you, Will. I appreciate that. My daughter is 21 and just graduated from college. I told her she can stay home until she wants to move out. Life is so stressful and the economy is so bad. No, for real. For real. Yep, all her kids are under 10. Why is she worried about this? Like, they just be online spitting and shit. I think somebody might have, it might have been a topic of conversation. And so she just says her opinion on it, which is fine. But she talks like somebody that doesn't make millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars, that, isn't putting her children through special, schooling and all of that so that they can be like other wealthy kids and retain and be able to, take on her wealth and continue to grow it like people do when they have wealth. My parents just said boys want one thing and to wait. But in case I didn't, they put us on birth control. I had already seen my mom and aunts be teen mothers, and my mom always said, don't have them. And that's another thing. A lot of times not wanting to put these kids on a form of birth control because you feel like it is co-signing them having sex, when the truth of the matter is, hey, they're gonna fuck. I don't know why everybody... They're going to do it. They're going to do it. And I think you should give them the option. Okay, so it's a possibility that you might have sex at some point. Do you want to get on birth control? Do you want to get on PrEP? You know what I'm saying? Let me know when you're ready and you're thinking about doing those things so that we can put those things in place to safeguard you. That way you can have your little sexual experiences without lifelong consequences for them. I studied child and youth care, and one of my favorite things to learn was the different cultures that really integrate children into the society and listen to them. Yes. Because they treat them like they're humans, like they're people, like they're going to eventually grow up and have sense. So they talk to them like they're regular human beings. They don't do all this mean admonishing shit. And we're going to get into that. Because I have a video that I'm going to play. I think I'm going to do it at the end of the show. No. Actually, I'll do it after this next one because it's in line with the parenting topic. Okay? Yes. Make sure your kids have condoms. Make sure you're meeting their little girlfriends and talking to them about sex. And, hey, I don't want any grandkids, babe. So unless you and your parents are going to be, fully ready to, also take a financial load of taking care of a child, can y'all please wear condoms? Okay, make sure that you're not getting pregnant until you're ready to take care of a child on your own, because I'm not going to take care of a child for you. You have to have these conversations. You have to put the things in place to safeguard them because they're still learning. Even as they're getting into their late teens, early 20s, they're still learning. And y'all be like, I ain't really taught you much, but you went to school. I spent money. Training wheels off, bitch. Sink or swim. And and I feel like sometimes, yes, because I'm not a fan of the way people try to clean up their kids' messes and all of that. I'm not a fan of that shit. And y'all love to do that. Y'all love to kick somebody out of a house when it comes to them having babies. But let a motherfucker catch a charge and you down there to the courthouse trying to find a way to get them off. Speaking of weird parenting, all right, let's get into Joel's Santana. So Joel's addressed criticism regarding his 14-year-old daughter's birthday outfit, asking fans if they would prefer she dress like North West after critics claimed her look was inappropriate for a teenager. Y'all want her to dress like North West? No disrespect. I just want to know. This is why it would be great if when people decide to be parents, they were like just a little smart. Not just street smart, not just I know how to, take a seventh and flip it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, not just in that way. But if you are smart enough to be able to assess what's happening on social media and not talk like a fucking child when you're talking about children, why would you bring Northwest into the situation? Why not just say, hey, everybody, regardless to what you may think, this is my 14-year-old. This is what she wore. You can have your opinion. Leave my fucking kid alone. Why are you bringing up somebody else's kid? And a part of this, what it made me think about is that when y'all look at Northwest, y'all see Northwest wearing baggy clothes, right? Y'all see Northwest wearing her baggy jeans and her ponytails and all of her piercings and shit. She's giving emo. She's giving odd. She's giving weird. In the Black community, Northwest is a weird kid, right? So when he says this, it's like, what y'all want? Y'all want her to dress like that weirdo kid? Y'all want her to dress like a dude, like that weirdo kid that's always wearing baggy clothes and shit? Like, that's what this felt like to me. And it's like, do you want her to be gay or do you want her to try to attract men or try to attract boys? Like, that's low key what I felt like was happening here. I don't fucking know. I could be wrong about that, but that's what I felt when he mentioned Northwest in juxtaposition to his 14-year-old here with this very short dress on. And I'm looking at the dress like I feel like the bottom of her ass cheeks are out when she turns around. And I do feel like y'all shouldn't let teenagers have their ass cheeks out. I do feel that way. I'm not going to lie. If you are a teenager, if you are a child, I don't feel like the bottom of your ass cheeks should be visible to the world. And that's not because of, creepy old men. That's just because you too fucking young to be dressing like that. And I think that you should have your ass cheeks out when you're a grown adult woman and you can handle how men are going to come at you. And I think, if you're raising your children right, they'll be able to handle that shit once they get into their 20s and all of that. But as teenagers, no, like cover the bottom of your ass up for all of our sakes, because nobody should be looking at the ass of a child. That's why. Okay? That's the main reason. Nobody should be looking at the bottom of the ass cheeks of a 14-year-old or whatever. Okay? In Live Bites, they said she was 14. Northwest could have paid for your daughter party and all her friends some new birthday gifts, Jewels, which I'm like, okay, they have more money than them. What the fuck is that supposed to be about? Like, so what? Why? So they could look, never mind, so they could look what? So they could look what? So they could look what, Jewels? You don't even have any fucking teeth in your mouth, sir. It's giving a tad bit of some homophobic shit in this. That's what it's giving. Why is she dressed like an adult? Didn't God want all men and women not to sin? And y'all talking about a dress? Yeah, see, he's stupid. Because what the fuck does God not wanting men and women to sin have to do with somebody saying that your daughter is dressed like an adult? What does that have to do with one another? Y'all are always trying to make like these hypocrisy points that don't really make any sense. Okay, we can all be, fallible. We can all be human and imperfect. And then we can still acknowledge the fact that, hey, your 14-year-old's ass cheeks like shouldn't be out. That's a baby with lashes. Also, to me, I will never understand y'all feeling like long hair and eyelashes means someone looks like an adult. I feel like someone wearing a dress with their ass out makes them, look like an adult. But they're not, right? Like, she looks between 16 and 18 here. But to me, her lashes and hair are not the problem. The problem is the dress. I also feel like a lot of men want their daughters to look like the women that they want to fuck because they don't have daughters from a place of feeling protective or anything. Almost like I've created another baddie for other men to fuck, and that's what I'm proud of. Let me know if y'all feel what I'm saying with that. Like, I've noticed that with some men. Like, you remember when Nipsey Hussle's funeral and whatever ignorant nigga that was that got up there and said they was gonna have to have their guns ready for their light-skinned daughters and shit? Yeah, it reminds me of men loving the validation of other men so much that it's like, look what I made. Look what I made. I made these two young ass baddies for you niggas to fuck. Yeah, I know y'all. I know y'all think I'm that nigga. Nah, look what my dick made. A woman you want to fuck. I think that's how niggas' minds be working because niggas are something's wrong with them. Something's wrong with them. I tell y'all all the time because of the way parental relationships are so obsessed and worried about their romantic relationships all the time in our society. There is a lot of not understanding the difference between a partner and a parent. And as you get into an adulthood, blending those roles all the time. Sometimes it is healthy for a partner to help you unlearn or unpack things that you went through with your parents, but not to look at them as a parental figure. Because something's wrong. Okay? I wanted to see, I wanted to see what the outfit looked like with her moving. I'm not going to lie. Like, is her ass out? Because it looked like it's out from the front. Okay? But I also feel like I would not have made comments about this on social media had he not responded the way he did. I would have saw this and scrolled past because not my business. Not for real. I do feel like the young girls are my business because we're in a community. But at the same time, she'll be okay. You know what I mean? Hopefully, my God. It was YG that said that. It's very patriarchal, like how men would use their daughters as gifts to keep business relationships between men back in the day. Yes, there is like it's the trickling down of some of that energy for sure. It's no such thing as baddie aesthetic, honestly. It's just a BBL, but y'all hold up. But y'all equate baddie to shit people been doing like lashes, hair, makeup. Come the fuck on. This is regular shit. Yeah, no, that's very true. That's very true. They've now created like you call a woman a baddie and then it adds all of these other things onto it. When really a lot of times the baddies are just girls that do a lot when it comes to their makeup and hair and shit. They're hyper feminine. Like hyper femininity doesn't automatically mean that you have all these negative connotations on you that make you grown. Sometimes it's like being fucking pretty. Like, my God. It is a girl thing to want to be pretty, y'all. It is. Sometimes it's a boy thing. You know what I'm saying? Regardless of genders, people want to be attractive. People want to be pretty or handsome or whatever the fuck. I think once an adult realizes they are looking at a child, all commentary should stop and other children shouldn't be used to create comparison. Absolutely not. Like, I wouldn't have had nothing to say on, like, if I saw this, just if Jules posted his daughter, I wouldn't say nothing about that in the comments. But the fact that he made it a thing, and so now we're on Live Bites talking about it, yeah. We're going to talk about how weird y'all are surrounding these kids because y'all are weird. And I'm going to talk about it. And speaking of other weird shit, we have conversations over here about the way y'all talk to these kids, right? Because y'all think that verbal abuse doesn't harm people. It's crazy. This popped up on my timeline today. The people in the comments that think that verbally abusing and being kind of like a sociopath with your children is going to make them strong. Yeah, no, that's because y'all think psychopaths are strong. So y'all want to make y'all children psychopaths. That's how it feels. Let's listen to this terrible ass nigga talking to his son.
Been gone for 2 days. You ain't been doing no exercises? Get your ass on this path. Come on. We're not playing none of them games, boy. Breathe in through your nose, out your mouth. I don't know what the fuck you thought that was. You was finna get a pass, a break or something? No, this is how we gonna go out. You hear me? This is how we gonna die. You hear me? If we gonna die, this how we gonna die. Nigga, fuck you talking about? We gonna die at war, nigga. We not gonna die on our backs like bitches. You hear me? You gonna fight through whatever it is. All of that. Don't ever do that shit again. I don't ever want to see your face like that again. You hear me? If you getting tired, you slow down. You slow your pace. You get your pace right. You're breathing right. Always focus on breathing in the nose, out the mouth.
I don't know why this is not even the first clip I saw. I feel like he must have cut the shit or something. Let me see. Yeah, no, here you go. No way.
Can't breathe.
This it. And this is what I saw that really annoyed me. This man had a panic attack. It's not a man. You could tell by the sound of his breathing that he's a child. But he says lonely mothers are destroying kids daily. And you can tell that this was all about making the mom responsible for why her son was not as masculine, right? Not as strong of a man like you're trying to build a child to be. But this is how y'all teach them all of that misogyny and shit, because technically you abuse them while telling them why you're abusing them is because they're acting like a woman or a girl or a bitch. This is how y'all get these psychopathic, weird ass niggas that we're out here dealing with right now, and all their misogyny and their red pill shit and the sexism and all of that shit. How we got that is this type of rhetoric that you can talk to your children like this, put unnecessary blame on the mothers because you're pissed off at the moms for whatever, right? And you can act like you're a good dad because you're teaching him, discipline and being physical with him. But the way you are talking to him and framing the world around him is a part of the reason why he'll grow up hating himself and women.
So you go with your mom for a weekend, you come back acting like this? You breathing, nigga. Your mom might accept that shit. I won't accept it. Nigga, you can't tell me you can't breathe while you're breathing. You just told me you can't breathe while you was breathing. Nigga, if you couldn't breathe, your ass would be on the ground back there. That weak ass shit. Don't ever do no shit like that. Breathe in through your nose, out your mouth.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir.
You been gone for 2 days. You ain't been doing no exercises? You can't breathe.
So apparently the little nigga can't go 2 days without exercising.
So you go with your mom for a weekend, you come back acting like this?
The people in the comments, they think it's funny. They think he's a good dad. Somebody said y'all underestimate how dramatic and theatrical kids can be when they don't want to do something. He was right for calling his son out for that. We raise masculine men over here. Good job, bro. Dads are so important in raising men. He's doing a great job. Right, because saying that lonely mothers destroy kids on a post where you're berating your middle schooler because he needs to catch his breath while y'all are running. You don't have to, because y'all, there's a way to do this without talking to him like that. And he did it. He did it when he said, breathe in through your nose, out through your mouth, in through your nose, out through your mouth. You don't have to berate him. You don't have to make all of these negative comments about the mother and what it means to be feminine and all of that. Like, this is the stupid shit we're talking about, because you can have your son outside. You can have him running. And then if he gets, overheated and you think he's being overly dramatic, it's okay. It's cool. Just take a break. Okay. Just keep kind of moving back and forth. Breathe in through your nose, out through your mouth, son. In through your nose, out through your mouth. We'll take a little minute. Okay. Now let's just start walking. When you catch your breath, we'll start back jogging and we'll start back running. Okay. You're okay. That is how you would teach him how to talk to himself in his mind and get back on track when his body is tired, without berating him and making him feel like shit about it. He doesn't have to feel like shit about himself in order for you to teach him how to keep going when he gets tired. Lonely mothers are destroying kids daily. So the kid was destroyed because he didn't work out for 2 days and got winded while running. My problem is there is no empathy. You are cruel. You are unnecessarily verbally violent to a child so that you can berate his mother. The bitch could be raggedy as hell. But the fact that you want to make that content just shows that you are just as raggedy, if not worse. Because a part of being an adult and a parent is not being overly negative about the other parent for no fucking reason. There was no reason to bring up the mother on this post, except for the fact that you hate your baby mama for whatever fucking reason. And the way people are in the comments defending this shit, y'all too soft in these comments, right? Because you can't be stern. Like, y'all heard how I talked, right? I wasn't being flowery with my language. I wasn't babying. I just simply took out all of the down talk, all of the misogynistic sexist talk, all of the homophobic talk, all of the don't listen to your body talk. I don't do any of that. I just tell him what he needs to do in order to do it. You can get somebody to keep going without talking to them like they're a piece of shit. The issues this will put on a child that doesn't know how to metabolize this shit, because children are listening to you, but mostly they're feeling fear when you talk to them like this. Somebody said, you need to control your emotions and speak life into that baby. If a kid is feeling vulnerable with you, don't make them feel less for trying to confide in you in any way they can. Be there, grasp yourself, ask and listen. He responded like this. Because the stupid niggas on this app and the bitches that don't have a man around make him feel like he's a good father so he can be crude and sociopathic with his kid and then use it as content, but he's right. So he can't be told that he's being abusive to his child by talking to his child like that. And this is when we say, like, why kids grow up and hate y'all. Why kids grow up and hate y'all is because y'all think it's okay to talk to them like shit. For whatever reason you feel like it. The kid wasn't being disrespectful. The kid got fucking tired. There was no need to talk to that boy like that. This is one of them niggas that if they wasn't working out and, being a hotep, this is like a hotep. If he wasn't working out and being a hotep, he would probably be getting in trouble somewhere. So because of that, this makes him feel like he's figured something out about life. because he's figured out that working out can help him not be a psychopath, right?
My face.
You just discovered that gay niggas were once not welcome to buy organic produce from the co-op. What? Like someone previously said, no, take your happy ass to Walmart and go eat at the GMC produce. You can't eat good like the straight people. Do you remember the time? Can someone explain why this is necessary? I don't recall a time in history when the happy community faced the tribulations that African Americans face. We were literally prohibited from businesses, etc. And I never seen a sign made that says blacks welcome and all races welcome. All the famous whites only signs were promoted. This is selective politicking on the dead homies. Niggas are so stupid but want to be so smart but don't want to do the work it takes to be smart, because then it would, disenchant them from the bullshit they believe about who they are as men. And God knows they can't take anybody breaking what they've built their fraudulent foundation on. So they won't really listen to the truth. This nigga's ignorant, but the fact that y'all don't understand that gay people have been discriminated against in the same ways as black people, not in the exact same way, because it's not always something that you can see when you look at someone, but they have been discriminated against, and gay people are black. Gay people can be black, so they can not be allowed to purchase things. You forgot there's gay black people, right? Y'all ain't never been treated like my people. Y'all ain't never been lynched, burned, and beat for fun. Y'all are very protected. He's not getting it. He's not getting it. Somebody just said it to him. He's not getting it. Gay people are also black sometimes. So yes, they have. Yes, they have. Yes, they have. And a lot of times, a black person being gay can incite homophobia from racist white people that will make them be even more violent with you because they're also homophobic and racist. He's a nobody, but he was online talking to his son in such a violent manner, but he's getting congratulated on it on social media. They're telling him he's a good dad on social media. They're telling him he's smart on social media. Somebody said McCarthy era, Stonewall, the AIDS crisis, gay men weren't allowed to be federal employees in the 50s. There's countries today that criminalize and have death penalty for gays. And this is why these types of people shouldn't be parents. And that's what I saw all in what he was doing with his son. It's all about trying to make sure that you brutalize your son to make sure that he's not gay. Even though when most of your content is you being naked on your page, getting the validation of men, and then talking about gay people, it gives you're probably gay. Whenever niggas are like hyper, like focused on shit like that, I feel like y'all are gay. I do. I feel like y'all are like fighting the urges to, get your dick sucked by your homeboy.
You can't breathe.
Like, let's just one more time. One more time. Matter of fact, we don't even have to hear it from me. I want to hear it from a man. Because y'all, everybody be like, oh, women. Okay, let's hear it from a man then. Was this the one?
You've been gone for 2 days.
Oh, this ain't. I thought I saved the one that was a response to this, because that's what I saw. I saw somebody's response to that ignorant shit. Let me see. Damn. Y'all know TikTok is creepy. You'll like stuff and then you'll subscribe to people and they'll act like you didn't do it. Damn.
You've been gone.
There were other black men. Checking him on this app, and I wish I could find where he's been stitched. Ugh, damn it. Let's see. Cause child, the people was talking about this dumbass shit.
You can't breathe. You can't breathe.
His son must have said he can't breathe. And then he says, you're breathing. When somebody says they can't breathe, what they actually mean is it's hard to breathe right now. That's what they mean. They don't mean that they actually aren't breathing and they can't breathe. They mean it's not easy to breathe. Why do y'all have to be so fucking stupid and then so literal at the same time?
So you go with your mom for a weekend, you come back acting like this? You breathing, nigga. Your mom might accept that shit. I won't accept it. Nigga, you can't.
I won't accept you having to catch your breath, nigga. I won't accept you as a child having any kind of weakness. And I'm going to berate you and I'm going to demean you until you harden up and become a shell of yourself around me so that I don't project my shit onto you. Because that's what he's doing. He's projecting his own insecurities of weakness onto this boy. Let the fucking child catch his breath.
Tell me you can't breathe while you're breathing. You just told me you can't breathe while you was breathing.
It be stupid people. It be stupid people. You shouldn't be parents when you this dumb. I'm not gonna lie. I used to feel like that was fucked up, that y'all would want to put like education requirements on having children. But now I feel like you do need to pass some type of, education, and not just like, passing them through like y'all did in the Bush era on tonight. But y'all really need to make sure people understand certain things, because the way dumb people like to be abusive because they don't understand shit, because they slow, so their response is to get upset.
Nigga, if you couldn't breathe, your ass would be on the ground back there. That weak ass shit. Don't ever do no shit like that. Breathe in through your nose, out your mouth.
Now, why he couldn't just say, keep breathing? Don't ever do no bitch ass shit like that, nigga. If you keep talking to him nicely while y'all are running and doing this, eventually he will develop the lungs for it. That's why you do it, because over time your body will create the lungs for it. But you the type of daddy that the child might actually have some type of breathing issue and you will think it's weak, so you won't take him to the doctor, and one day he might fucking die.
Yes, sir.
You been gone for 2 days. You ain't been doing no exercises?
Right, because a nigga can't go 2 days without exercising. And then when you look at his page and see that that's all he got to teach that boy, and he has no way of regulating himself because you are talking to him in a way that feels angry. Why? Why are you angry about this? Because any little weakness in a boy child means he's what? Gay. And we're raising men. We're raising psychopaths around here. Yeah, I can't stand these niggas. Because these are niggas that, like, they've done a little bit of research on some herbs, read some shit about Dr. Sebi or some shit like that, and now they think they can talk to women that have gone through, like, collegiate classes and shit. People with, like, bachelors and masters and doctorates and shit. You think because you didn't read some fucking book from a nigga that was in some bushes, you can argue like a smart person with people that have way more education. This is not me being elitist. This is how harmful stupid motherfuckers can be. You know how harmful that is for you to develop that type of pressure on that kid to where listening to my body, stopping for a moment to catch my breath is considered some weak ass shit. Yeah, y'all. No, we was gonna talk about that because I feel like that's one of my main issues with people is that y'all don't realize how terrible people be talking to their kids. And then when they grow up and they can't stand your ass, you like, I did everything I was supposed to do after I was finished calling them bitches and hoes and all of that shit. After I was finished talking to him like a hoe on the street, I took him to get some ice cream. So I don't understand why he don't like me. Oh, shit. Okay, y'all. Well, we're about to get into the rest of the show. We're moving on from there, okay? Everybody just take a deep breath. But the way people, the ignorant people online that believe these ignorant things that y'all believe will reinforce somebody being abusive towards their child, and they would think that they are right to do so because of it. Yeah, I don't like that shit. I don't like that shit at all. Like, I don't like that shit at all. Okay? Not a book from a nigga in some bush. Girl, sometimes I just be running it. I don't even remember what the fuck I said. But yeah. Yeah. I'm telling you, I have learned from like experiencing these people in real life. I cannot stand no motherfucking hotep ass nigga. I cannot stand them because the way they will disrespect you and talk to you and not be able to emotionally regulate themselves in conversations because they think they know better than you, and really have only gotten content and information from other niggas that don't know what the fuck they talking about neither. But he's a nigga in a bush. If he is a dark-skinned black man glistening on social media talking about herbs, detoxes, right? Them niggas. They fast a lot, right? Niggas is crazy. Do not like niggas. So I can't wait. I can't wait. I can't wait. I can't wait. I cannot wait for our next trip, which is next month. I mean, well, technically almost next month in September. We will be going to Mauritius. Reset by Design Wellness is going on another luxurious vacation for how many days, girl? How many days we going? 10 days. 10 days and 9 nights. 5-star resort, world-class amenities. Okay? It's going to be a beautiful experience. It comes with a massage. It comes with, meticulously prepared meals, okay, crafted by celebrated chefs. This ain't no regular shit, okay? Those of y'all, if y'all could use a good vacation and y'all would like to roll with us and you don't want to have to go through the trouble of planning everything, okay, but you got the little extra ends, you can pay as you go, you got good credit, you can get a firm, come on through to resetbydesignwellness.com because it is helpful. Like, we have therapy sessions. We talk about what we have going on, what our goals are, and we have a good time. And it's a no judgment zone. You know what I'm saying? So people are really able to let their hair down and be who they are and express themselves and just have a good time with a group of black women. And you could feel safe traveling around the world and exploring new things without, the fear that you're not safe. Because I feel like whenever we come together, not only is Ty providing the safety in, making sure that we have everything we need, going to, see these places, staying in these places before we go. So knowing exactly what the experience is going to be like. On top of that, we always have other women that come on these trips that are also well traveled and got everything in a backpack and, can tell you how to move around and are protective. And, it's always some of us in the group that you could tell, like, we are about protecting everybody. You know what I'm saying? And making sure everybody feels safe whenever we're moving around in the world together as groups of black women. And it really is a beautiful experience. I don't think I have ever in my life traveled with a group of people without a fucking fight happening. And literally every time we go, it's always a great experience. It's always a great experience. People are not forced to do things they don't want to do. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, like, it's a good time. It's a good time. And it is for you. You know what I mean? I will definitely probably be going live at different times when I go on this vacation, because this is not just a vacation, it's business. Y'all got to see what's going on when we go out there. So make sure y'all stay tuned for that. But yeah, Reset by Design Wellness. The link is down below in the description box if y'all trying to roll with us in September. Okay, so let's go ahead and get into the rest of the show. So Shaquille O'Neal said something about celebrities that I feel like is so true. And I feel like, even though I feel like he's an example of this, he's a nice guy to most people, but I also feel like he's a creep. I do feel like he's a creep. But he's not the worst of the niggas, is what I'll say. I don't think Shaq is the worst of the niggas. So we know. Because y'all know I don't put nothing past nobody. Okay? But Shaquille O'Neal calls out asshole celebrities, says most are weird, rude, and obnoxious. And this is what I think. This is exactly what I think about celebrities. So when people come out and accuse them of things, I don't know why everybody's first inclination is to say money grab. It's a money grab. It's a money grab. Look at them. They're trying to get his money. Like, I don't know why y'all think that. Like, that's not all. It's sometimes they're trying to get the money because somebody did something to them. And nigga, you gonna pay me for my pain. The fuck is we talking about? Shaquille O'Neal may be one of basketball's biggest names, but he is not interested in being labeled a celebrity. During a new interview with Page Six, the retired NBA legend explained why he still sees himself as a regular person. But you're not. And this sounds like a way to sanitize yourself, because the more we look into celebrities, the more we find out how nefarious y'all are. So if you can make yourself look like a regular person, then I guess you won't be seen as somebody who we will be waiting for some skeletons to fall out of closet or some shit like that. I do hope that you're just like a creepy cheater nigga. I do hope that you just only a cheater nigga that, creepily, passive aggressively and just outright flirts with younger women that are old enough to be your kids and shit. Like, we hope you're just at that level of creepdom and that we don't have to worry about more from you, because you're too fucking big for that, okay? Like, Shaquille O'Neal is way too fucking big for there to be any worse story about him come out besides he's a creep that followed a bitch to her job, and he, loves a younger girl, and he's a cheater and a misogynist. We hope that it's nothing worse than that. Again, you're too fucking big for that. Like, oh my God. Like, Shaq is somebody I don't think you can just use a regular handgun on. Okay. He too big. You got to have some special bullets or some shit like that. He said, excuse my French, celebrities are assholes, O'Neal said, describing some famous people as weird, rude, and obnoxious. Shaq made the comments while promoting Game Day Murders, a new true crime series he is executive producing. And honestly, the Joe Budden podcast crew, which celebrity have you met that was, oh wait, no, I'm sorry. I thought that was for the Joe Budden podcast. No, it's the Jasmine Brain crew, TJB, girl. Which celebrity have you met that was surprisingly rude? I don't think anybody's surprisingly rude. But I do feel like there's a reason why they're like this. There is a reason why they're like this, y'all. There's a psychology behind it. That, like, there's a pattern behind the way celebrities are, like, weird, rude, obnoxious people. A lot of the times it has a lot to do with their celebrity or the things that people like about them, so they'll excuse the bad things, and then the fear to check them. That's another thing, like, I've been thinking about, is how often when you're trying to get into a certain space, you have to allow some type of humiliation ritual to occur in order for you to make. I'm trying to think. I finally watched The Devil Wears Prada 2. The Devil Wears Prada 2. And that movie is a great example of how terrible, like, people in, the celebrity world can be. Like, because being inhumane, dehumanizing, lacking of emotion, lacking of sympathy, lacking of empathy, all of those things are a virtue in the business world, in the modeling world, girl, all over the place, to the point that y'all expect that same type of cruelty and lack of emotion in family dynamics, which is why niggas is online telling that scary ass nigga he's a good dad because he's willing to berate his child into a grave just so his child don't come off as weak. The fucking baby. Anyway, I mean, I feel like it all draws back. You know what I'm saying? But on The Devil Wears Prada, the way Andy came into that situation, still allowing them people to talk to her and handle her any kind of way and prove that she was worthy of being in their spaces, when ultimately they're all insecure, weirdo pieces of shit. Did y'all notice that? I felt like it was a good movie if it had come out in 2016. In 2026, they thought that The Devil Wears Prada 2 was hinting on something current, but it wasn't. Wanting to hold on to a $1 billion industry that exploits so many people, including the fucking public, into buying things that are a lot of the times cheaply made, but because somebody's luxury name is on it, you're willing to spend your fucking car note and your rent on a Go-Yard bag that looks like it's made out of plastic. They were really trying to like romanticize that shit and act of it as if it was okay for Andy to be this person that was constantly willing to be a good person up until the end of the movie. And I'm gonna tell you, that was something that annoyed me too, right? Because, and this reminds me of like the Keke Palmer of it all. That last scene when they were in the car together on Devil Wears Prada 2, and Miranda basically tells Andy, go ahead and do the book where you spray me. Tell all the truth, tell all the dirt of it, you know what I'm saying? Because, hey, it is the truth and you want to make your money, right? This job may not last forever. Get as much as you can. So if you want to put out a book that's going to tell all of my, secrets that you know about me, go ahead and put the book out. Now, on first glance, this makes Miranda seem like somebody that's real enough to be like, hey, it is what it is. People already think what they think. Go ahead and write the book and make the money. That's my gift to you, to give you the okay to do it. But in my mind, what it really, showed is how these systems and these lacking in moral and integrity, spaces will pull you in, make you feel bad for having integrity and all of that, and then kind of get you to go against that integrity by acting like it's a gift, right? Her putting out, a dirty book about Miranda while still working with her, like, it was just like, I think she just really wanted to make you more like her. That's what I think. I think, the idea is to get the people that are really trying to be good people, to pull them in, to get them into something that proves they're not that good, so they don't feel the need to try to be as good anymore. That, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's what it feels like. And that's why I said that was kind of low-key how Keke Palmer is starting to make me feel, because Keke Palmer is starting to become somebody that I feel like is a conduit of sanitizing, right? You're somebody that knows how to sit down with problematic people and be charismatic and funny and lighthearted and soften a blow, right? Or soften an image. And then you come to the people and tell them that they need to be more accountable and sweep, their own doorstep before asking for accountability of the people that are exploiting them. So yeah, like, and that's why when we talk about celebrities and all of that, and everybody acts like we're not supposed to be holding them to any type of standard, I don't agree with that, because whenever they're ready to come and talk to us like, it's your girl, from a place that we should trust them, when we're on opposite sides of the spectrum. It's, it's like a Trojan horse, basically. A lot of these celebrities act as Trojan horses in the Black community. And y'all have to realize how that is like a regular thing. When they talk about certain celebrities being like FBI and CIA and all of that, what they really are talking about is people that are of that community in some way, but they're actually there to promote ideals that are destructive for said community. These types of mentalities, don't fight back, compare yourself to people who have way more power than you, feel more responsible for the situation you're in, even though it is systemic, right? And there are people that are lobbying to keep it that way. No, ignore all of that and try to hold yourself accountable for a system that is exploiting you and taking advantage of you. Now, don't get me wrong. The celebrities are being exploited and taken advantage of as well, but they feel like they understand something that the other people don't understand, so their sacrifice makes sense in their head. Them sacrificing themselves and you makes sense in their head because they get to live above this poverty line that everybody else is living in. So they're okay with giving y'all misinformation or telling y'all shit that's not exactly good for y'all, but that's good for them. They're really good about that. And yeah, no, we gonna have conversations, because if you're gonna get up here and use your platform to say anything that can affect the mindset of a disenfranchised, exploited people, we're gonna talk about what you meant by that. Because a lot of times y'all get caught up on what they're saying, how they said it, and not asking yourself why they said it. What did you mean by that? What do you want to happen? Right? Because when I said she want us to shut up, so many people was like, that's not what she said. I don't think she said she wanted us to shut up, babe. Follow the context clues. She wants you to shut up. She was talking about people in her comments. Yeah. She's talking about people in her comments complaining about the lack of moral integrity that celebrities are having by partnering with these corporations that are causing systematic destruction on them. So yeah, do what you will with that. Do what you will with that. Where are we going next? Let's go to Just Hilarious. She looking at me like she want me to click on her. So we have to support our families and communities. We can't control them in the way they are changing things to ensure we have less power. It's a cycle. We can't control them, but we can talk about it. We can talk about it. And that's what we're going to do.
You did a nude photo shoot with your then 5-year-old son.
Yep.
And people are kind of split about that.
Yeah.
Some people liked it.
Yeah. What do y'all feel about that now, all these years later? Thank you, Haley Bondi, sending love and good energy. Celebrates 2 months, but been a member on the website for years. Thank you. I appreciate you. Thank you, girl. Make sure y'all, got y'all notifications turned on. Y'all saw that I put out, the live schedule, live, the video that's going to be later today at 6:00 after I go and take my little walk. I think that's what I'm going to do. I'll do some more strenuous workout tomorrow because I listen to my body, and I'm okay with the fact that I don't look like I work out 6 days a week because I don't want to work out 6 days a week anymore. I used to. I don't want to. Some days I just want to sleep. I want to be healthy, bitch, but, I'm okay with where I'm at with it. You know what I mean? I'm getting to that point. All right. But anyway, I'm sorry. Thank you for being a member, girl. I'll see y'all at 6:00. Let's get into this. Child, just with this look on her face.
Some people didn't like it. And one of the people that had criticisms about this was Corey Holcomb.
Yeah.
And the two of you kind of went back and forth about this.
Yeah. That's the thing. We ain't go back and forth. I roasted that 3 days straight. That's how I caught Nick Cannon's attention. He just liked my roasting skills.
Thank you, Goody Gabber, for sending memberships yesterday. Thank you so much. We appreciate you. I just want to say before she continues this, thank you. I don't know how I feel about the naked mom photo shoot. The reason why I say that is because I don't think it's weird to be a mom and be naked around a child who came out of your vagina. I don't think it's weird. I think it can be weird depending on how it's being done, right? I think we can take things into consideration. I think we can look at situations. Now, do I feel like that should have been a photo shoot in that way? I don't know, because I feel like, I've seen photo shoots with mothers and their children when they're naked or holding their babies or something like that, and it's not seen as to be obscene. You know what I'm saying? But I do feel uneasy seeing it. And I feel like it's because we're not supposed to be seeing it. It's like a vulnerable moment between a mother and a child for y'all to be, nude together. And so even though I understand, like, as a mother, you would want to show the beauty of that, posting it online with the way that people move, also me feeling like a lot of people don't recognize that they are having inappropriate relationships with their children in some ways, right? And that's because I think y'all assign manhood to boy children very, very early, especially if, y'all want him to be man and all of that shit, to a level like that man was, where you're like kind of brutalizing your sons in order to make them grow up faster. But yeah, I don't know, if that was something hanging on a wall in her house, right? If that was a photo shoot she had done to put in her house or in a baby book or something, I don't think I would feel the same way about you posting it online for everybody to see. Because every time I see it, I'm like, I don't know.
It wasn't even really that what is his name? It wasn't even really that the comedian was talking about me. It was that Corey mentioned my son being gay. Like he said something, and this is why black men are gonna be gay. This why your son gonna be gay. Something about it. I don't know. Just
Which is crazy, and it's also a projection because Corey Holcomb is super, weird about gay men. For one, always talking about him, always got a dick in his mouth. And then also, Corey is somebody that has been extremely inappropriate with children. Corey has said some of the most disgusting, deplorable things about children that I've ever heard a man say online with no fear of being arrested. This should let y'all know that these niggas have way more power than y'all give them credit for. Because a nigga be on social media with video evidence of him talking about having sex in front of children and shit. And, nobody calls in the federale hood.
I'm just like, yeah, you can play with me all day, but you're not ready to play with my kid. You know what I mean? And later on down the line, I realized it, man, this is problems of his own. His own kids don't even like him. He don't like his mother. And it's a whole bunch. Yeah, I heard he got a lot of, he in some trouble right now. And he in like court, some case for putting his hands on a woman or something. I don't know, because he tender and sensitive about having a or something. That's out there. That's out there. So, but yeah, that's what happened.
Well, yeah, he responded. He said,
I know y'all don't think Jess is hilarious, right? But that little moment right there, that was very Martin of her. The bitch is hilarious. Like there are things about Jess that are funny to me. I think she's a funny person, right? I also feel like people's biases make them unfunny. I think her being homophobic and kind of being misogynistic and all of that and a pick me, it makes her less funny. And I think that sometimes your artistry requires you to elevate. And when you refuse to elevate, you lose momentum. She's still getting jobs and shit because she's just, but I wouldn't say it's because she is busting our sides the way she used to.
that this is part of what's wrong with Black America. These want their sons to be disgusting. It looks like a naked woman who has her son who's too old to be sitting on top of her naked. That's a world lost just like their mom. And he called it behavior.
Yeah, if I knew it was something either gay or something like that was just derogatory, like for him to say, involving my son, I just thought that was very, very distasteful. After that, we wasn't cool, but we deaded it right there, and then back and keep talking to me like as if he didn't cop a deuce on the phone. I'm like, oh wow, all right, cool. So I just left that alone because I actually
cop a deuce on the phone. Y'all tell me what that means. My context clues are all over the place right now.
So, okay, this is the type you do. You sit on your radio show and you just talk about, you know what I'm saying? You look dirty, like you look very disheveled, like you're not happy in your own life. Like you got to work through. You can't ever win with a person like that.
They go to Vlad because there's no shame when they sit down with Vlad. A lot of people like to talk to entities that aren't going to shame them or ask them any real hard questions. Also, Vlad has, for some reason, the niggas love Vlad. So he has the eyes of the people that a lot of them want to see them.
So I just stopped talking about him, and he kept talking about me, and I was doing something wrong.
You did.
So yeah, let's just go back right quick so we can see Corey Holcomb real quick, because y'all saying y'all didn't know. Hold up. So this is Corey Holcomb and some of the shit that he said that's way more problematic than just his photo shoot with her son.
This past weekend, I saw this little girl. She had a Welch's grape juice bottle in her mouth. And she was about 5. She had the whole bottle, as far as it'll go, just sucking on it, walking with her mama. Somebody said, get that out her mouth. When they took it out her mouth, that baby said, You know when she stopped crying? When a man picked her up and put her in her lap and started bouncing with her. Then she stopped crying and was looking like this. I said, that's a whore. That's a little whore growing right there.
The mentality of people who are in hell in their psyche, right? Because it's given slow. It's given, your mama, whoever raised you was slow and mean. And slow, mean people create narratives that are so harmful sometimes. So the baby is thirsty. The baby does not recognize anything sexual about drinking from a bottle because it's a fucking baby. 5 is a baby. Y'all think that something is wrong with her drinking from a bottle like she's thirsty because you're thinking about dick. Why would you do that? Pause. And then, for some reason, it had to be a man. But when somebody picks the child up to soothe the child by bouncing it, you call the child a whore because you believe that the child is getting some feeling in their nether regions from being bounced, when really it's a soothing motion. And it doesn't have to have anything to do with nether regions that may not necessarily even be awake yet. But then relating what people are doing to the child as making the child a whore. So understand why when we had that conversation about the 13-year-old and Kendra Scott and all of that, and there were so many women calling the child fast, why people are now calling y'all PDF files. The reason why people are calling y'all PDF files is because the thought process that you have about children implies that children know what's happening and they don't, which means you're imposing grown thoughts onto a child, grown people's understanding onto a child so that you can make them responsible for an adult's actions, which is the same thing the pedophile does.
And everybody will say, Corey, what are you talking about? Corey, you crazy. Get the fuck out of here. This little girl was in her bliss with her mouth wide open. She was just, it had the cap on it and everything. They took it out of her mouth. Then a man picked her up and started shaking her on his knee. And she was like, I said, that's a whore. That's a little whore. It's just Corey Holcomb crazy. I almost want to go back and ask about that little girl and do a documentary on her life. So one day I can show I know what I'm talking about. But in this society,
Because that makes her a whore. What makes her a whore is how grown adult men sexualize her when she's a fucking baby. So by the time she reaches the age of 16, she's already been sexually assaulted and sexually harassed. But you can show up after sexualizing her at fucking 5 and call her a whore for how your dirty ass minds eventually turn into dirty ass actions against her. But she's then made responsible for how it affects her. This is how these niggas think. Don't take the microphone away. This is informing you on how these niggas think. Because believe it or not, it's the same logic as making a 13-year-old accountable for a 20-year-old man hiding under her bed and saying that she's fast.
$19.20 show D.
A woman who is 16 can give you a healthy ass baby.
I don't know where we're going with this, but
I'm just asking. They got these charges. I'm trying to see what the charges gonna be.
the wedding ring.
Somebody called me Corey Kelly because I said spoon.
Oh, good one.
I would never
Or Corey Epstein.
spoon a child. I'm asking what happens if you do it. It's called research. Please keep this. Like,
I mean-
give me. Right.
Let's go back.
Yeah, she has a documentary.
Kid pussy, that's the best put. Well, I'm saying, you better watch motherfuckers around your kids. Some niggas want some tight pussy real bad.
Jesus Christ.
Can you get charged if you spoon a child? Like,
mean-
get behind him, make him take all his clothes off, and you hug him
I'm
like that. Is
pretty
that a charge?
sure. Yes, Graham.
What is
pretty
that?
sure.
Not no penetration, just
Doesn't have
spoon
to
him.
be penetration. It's so you can't
That's
be
love.
You can. Okay, hold on.
That's what y'all homeboy Michael Jackson was saying all the time about how it was love to be, in a bed cuddling with kids.
It's a stepchild.
Okay, I don't know where we're going with this, but
I'm just asking. They got these charges. I'm trying to see what the charges gonna be.
the wedding ring.
Somebody called me Corey Kelly because I said spoon.
Oh, good one.
I would never
Or Corey Epstein.
spoon a child. I'm asking what happens if you do it. It's called research. Please keep this piece of tape for future references. I'm telling you now, when they go after me, they get dirt like a motherfucker. I'm here to tell you, if they go through my computer, they gonna be like, Corey, like porn. What else can I put out there?
Snacks.
I mean, yeah, them a big dick in the child. I'm gonna check my browser, goddamn.
They are physically developed for you to get off with a body that ain't fucked up. And I've said this before on the show, D.
A woman who is 16 can give you a healthy ass baby.
16, 17, 18, 19, 20. That woman is like at a point in her life where she is
Right.
it's just nobody likes to say shit like that in America because you can get in trouble for that. Now, I don't want no woman that's 16, 17.
Where are you going outside of the country where you can say this shit and it's okay? Since only in America do people find this type of shit disgusting. Yeah, I'm going to keep on talking because I feel like there should be legislation. Like, you should get arrested for being on a public platform talking like this. I don't even give a fuck if it's a public. I feel like you shouldn't be on the internet anywhere talking like this. And if you are on the internet anywhere talking like this, people should be knocking on your door with handcuffs to put you away. But to me, like, this is the mindset of the people that fuck with children.
Motherfucking goddamn.
So it's very interesting. And I wonder why Just Hilarious didn't say, there's a compilation of him sounding like a fucking pedophile. Seems like whatever he was trying to accuse me and my child of was a projection. I really do think that she ignorantly did not understand putting that picture online would definitely be something sent to pedophile sites. Like your young child with your naked body on the internet, that would be sent to sites where PDF files are frequenting because that's the type of content that they like. And not that you need to be responsible for creeps, but you should be aware they're creeps. And I don't think that she really thought about that when she posted it. I don't. Because I don't think she's that smart. to understand that. Child, there was some things I didn't understand until like last year. But the fact that people sit around Corey while he says these things, that's another problem. I wouldn't be able to keep working with a man talking around me like that. That would gross me the fuck out to the point that I wouldn't even be able to physically be around him without being like, I gotta get the fuck from around this nigga. I gotta get from around this nigga. So yeah, that happened there. And just like we all knew what happened, boxer Adrian Bronner sued for sexual battery after a woman claims he pressured her for sex and dumped ice water on her during live stream. Boxer Adrian Bronner is facing a lawsuit accusing him of sexual battery, assault, defamation, and emotional distress following alleged encounters in June. Havana Saint claims Bronner invited her and friends to a June 2nd after party, encouraged drinking, and later pressured her to perform sexual intercourse, oral sex, and a hand job. She alleges he exposed himself, grabbed her hand, and ignored her repeated no, even after she said she was not interested in men and stated that she preferred women. Saint says she returned June 3rd when Bronner allegedly tried dragging her upstairs despite her expressly refused response. She says laughter during the encounter hid fear. On June 8th, Saint says she encountered Bronner at a separate live stream content resident in Los Angeles County. After becoming intoxicated, she alleges he physically pulled or dragged her to his Encino home and pressured her for sex. Saint says Bronner later dumped ice water on her during a live stream and falsely suggested they had been intimate, including claiming she made him C-U-M. She is also suing Nuruddin Shabazz, known as Dean the Great, for defamation and CLIQUE for negligence. Bronner has not publicly responded. The first comment is a paragraph by a woman. She already knew the storm that lived inside Adrian Bronner, yet she stepped into his live stream as though answering a love letter written by fate itself. Then came the accusation, a confession that shattered whatever fragile romance remained. As Adrian read the headlines aloud, each word struck like another heartbreak. Panic bloomed where confidence once stood. He fled the warehouse, not like a man escaping justice, but like a lover running from the ghost of romance that had turned against him. I really hate this person because they're writing this purposefully like a fucking novel, like a romance novel. And what the romance novel basically says is she knew what she was getting into, but then also he's a lover who's hurt by these accusations. You understand how those two things are contradicting? She can't both know that he was going to do that to her and then simultaneously him be a lover and somebody that wasn't thinking they were hurting her. He had been doing this on the streaming for months now. Everybody knew it was going to happen eventually. It happens, and you still find a way to make it the girl's fault, regardless of the fact that you saw yourself how violent and out of control he was. Yes, she could have not went back, but to me, that is irrelevant. He still did what he did, knowing that people knew that he was like this. Why would you assault somebody when people are like, hey, that guy's probably gonna assault someone? Because these niggas don't have any self-control and they don't care, and they know that they're a man and the system will probably protect them. Because only a small percentage of men that assault women actually spend any time in jail. Let's not even get into circumstances like this where y'all can make it out to seem as if she was okay with the assault simply because she was there. As if streaming is not a fucking job. I hate this person. Because y'all love to, you're literally romanticizing assault in the comments. Oh, it's a guy. It's a guy. I wonder if he chat GPT'd it. He looks like no one likes him. He looks sad and like no one likes him. And he looks like he doesn't have any self-awareness because he looks crazy in all of these pictures and in videos, and he's still posting them. Like, and then he's posting them like a photo album, which shows me you have no social media awareness, that this is weird for you to post the same picture over and over and over again. And only 2 people liked it, and they liked every photo. I'm guessing it's like your other fake page and one of your family members. Yeah. You look sad and lonely, and you look like you're trying to attract a man. One of his posts is Aaron the plumber, always standing on business. Hasn't Aaron Plummer been accused of assault as well? He has a song called Wifey Material. It has 36 likes. And so to me, men like this are all over the internet, and they're all out in the world, and they all think like this. And so it's odd when we have these conversations about the number of men that are actually like problematic and harmful in comparison to, you know, to women in whatever capacity. And y'all act like almost, girl, the way these types of men come out of the woodwork on posts is so many of them. They're all over. They're like fucking sleeper cells all over the place. Why do y'all continue to act like it's not a bunch of these niggas everywhere? It's a bunch of these niggas everywhere, y'all. Lonely, insecure, unloved, angry little bitches trying to make women angry on the internet by being contrarian to their experiences for the sake of the validation of a man. Wrap it up. Wrap it up. And then with Adrian Bronner doing all of the things that he, you know, has been seen on camera doing, right?
Get on up out of here. Nah, get on up.
Adrian Bronner kicks woman out of his event after she rejects him. I'm trying to sleep with something tonight. Something tonight. That's why Chantel and them refer to men, misogynistic men, as a thing. That's why. A lot of women are starting to do that on TikTok. They refer to these men as a thing. Because if you're going to dehumanize me, I'm going to dehumanize you too. You're a fucking thing.
I ain't here to play with nobody. Kiki, get that wife out of here. All right, Kiki.
This shit is not funny. This shit is not cool. I don't care that the girls are pretending to be okay with it because they think it's advantageous to them. He's still out of pocket. He's still out of line. And somebody needs to kick him in the fucking throat. I'm being facetious. Y'all tip me. Every time I get up here, tip me, please. Okay? There's a fear that all this realness will get me demonetized. Please tip me. Even the cameraman's a creep.
Hey, boss, another one.
Do you see all the grown men around laughing at this Zeus produced event?
They ain't about to just take up space, bitches. You gonna fuck. Get out. Ain't nobody here to take up spaces. You gonna stay or not?
And a nigga talking like that to me. How that nigga sound? Let me see.
Hello, this how that nigga sound.
Yes. I'm trying to sleep with something tonight.
I'm trying to sleep. Hold on, let me do it.
I'm trying to sleep with something in the night. I'm trying to sleep with something in the night. If you're not fucking, What you here for? What you mean you ain't nasty? Why the fuck you came? Why the fuck you came? Why the fuck you came? What you mean you ain't nasty? Why the fuck you came? Don't you see the grill? Candy on the frame. What you mean you ain't nasty? Why the fuck you came? Why the fuck you came? Why the fuck you came? What you mean you ain't nasty? Why the fuck you came? Don't be pushing on my buttons.
Wait a minute, motherfucker. First time niggas see the real.
Old school Chevy with the grill. That's a crit. It's a crit song. But yeah, this is despicable and this is really gross. And the fact that y'all act like this is not a lot of grown men. Like a lot of grown men are like this. They're like really gross. And they talk like a bitch. But they're really violent and disrespectful and always wanting to make a woman feel like shit on the bottom of their nasty ass shoe. When it's like, nigga, get that gunk out of the corner of your mouth.
Not you. I can't fuck you, Neon. Get on up out of here. Nah. Get on up out of here. I ain't.
I mean, he has I feel like there must be something the size of a dick in his throat for it to sound like that. And then because at the end of the day, it's a plot and it's a scheme to come to the black community with the bullshit, we have to incentivize this type of degenerate, harmful, destructive, fucked up behavior with Rolex watches. Gifts from Slave Master.
I want to do something nice for you guys. This is from the Ice Brothers. Yes, this is for you, my friend. This is for you, my friend. And this is for you, my friend.
No way.
No, come on, man. You guys are awesome. I appreciate you guys.
Really, bro? A rollie? A rollie? Oh, shit. Oh, shit.
Why did Ray J instantly go to touch that boy like that? So this is the thing. People tend to not believe what they're seeing in front of their eyes because they think that people would not be dumb enough to do the shit in front of their eyes. But what do you think's happening here?
You guys are hilarious.
Oh, thanks, bro. Respect her. Respect her. No, you do.
I think niggas are taking dick and humiliating women for money and validation while eating away at their souls. That's what I think.
Zeus, bitch. W Zeus, bitch.
Come on, man. Come on. Love, man. But I did want to do something nice for you guys.
And so when you create a community that only values money and extravagant, slave owner made products and shit, girl, I don't fucking know. Like, how far back does Rolex go? Did they own slaves? But it's a status symbol, right? And that's all you really want. All you really want is a status symbol to prove that you're somebody, right? Even if that somebody is a piece of shit. So let's move on. JC, listen. Oh, we're gonna do the party like the city of nightlife. And I sweet talking to the three. Make it look too easy. Oh, God. Anyway, y'all know I like this nigga's music. He's really one of my most listened. Okay, he's one of my most listened. If I'm gonna pull somebody out the pack, it's gonna be Crit and this nigga and Black Thought. And I don't know why I'm not listening to Wiz Khalifa more, because I like Wiz Khalifa. I need to be listening to Wiz Khalifa more, because the stuff like the Full Court album that Crit and Wiz Khalifa and Smoke, forgot that nigga's name, They got the other brother that sing. Yeah, I forgot. But it's a bunch of them niggas that was on this one album called Full Court Press. It's literally one of my favorite albums. I listen to it all the time. Like it goes all the way through. Y'all love rap. Like I definitely didn't realize how much of a hip hop head I really truly was, but I really like, there's certain rappers that I just, I fuck with. You hit the head. You spoke a truth. That's exactly what they're doing, Bonnie. That's why I love you. Listen. And let me just declare them part of his harem. My God, on today. Jay-Z says grandmother of man claiming he's his son shouldn't be allowed to wipe out $119,000 in debt through bankruptcy. Let's read, because on face value, that sounds very vindictive and ridiculous. Let's see. Jay-Z is back in court as part of a years-long legal battle connected to Ramir Sadoway, the man who has repeatedly claimed the music mogul is his biological father. This time, the rapper isn't facing a new paternity lawsuit. Instead, he's fighting to preserve a six-figure judgment against Ramir's grandmother, Lily Colley. According to the court documents obtained by TMZ, Jay-Z has asked a bankruptcy judge to rule that a $119,000 judgment against Colley cannot be discharged through her bankruptcy case. His legal team argues the judgment stemmed from what they describe as fraudulent statements and misrepresentations that were intended to harass and target him. Jay-Z's attorney also alleges Colley has spent the past decade pursuing him through numerous unsuccessful court filings, online campaigns, and public statements related to the paternity claims. The filing further states that the rapper has spent hundreds of thousands of dollars in legal fees defending himself and notes that prior lawsuits brought against him over the matter have been dismissed. The only reason you spend so much money going back and forth with these people in court is because you did not want to take the paternity test. Because if he really wasn't yours and you didn't want to spend all this money going back and forth to court, you could have just took the paternity test. And what it feels like is what people think. We don't know if it's true, but a lot of people have said that you were with the mother when she was 15 and that would prove something. However, at this point, I really think what he's trying to protect is having to pay out a large settlement to that boy for not being in his life. And it would be based on how much money he's made. So it would be a lot of money that he would have to give to that boy, right? If he really was the father. And I just feel like the only reason that you didn't want to take the paternity test is because it could have possibly been true. And then if it was true, even though his mother is dead and gone at this point, you would be financially liable for the fact that you never had to financially secure a child that was yours. My problem comes in when I feel like rich people are so fucking greedy and vindictive and vengeful that they like to put poor people in even worse situations. This is a nuanced situation. Because if this is in fact all a lie and that lady has been spending money all these years trying to prove that Jay-Z is the pappy and he's, really not in all of that, and you did all of this knowing that he wasn't really the daddy and shit, that's one thing. You would be like trying to make sure that they actually got punished so they would not keep trying to sue you over and over again, right? So on one side, I understand. But on the other side, it feels like, do you really have to try to make a poor person? I'm sure that lady don't have money like that, y'all, because I don't have money like that to be. And I feel like I probably made more money than this lady and that boy because, like, in my mind, I wouldn't even go through all of that. Nigga, if you don't want to be my daddy boy, fuck you. Even with all of that money, I don't even want to be around no nigga. I don't want nothing from, like, I'm one of them people. Fuck you. I'd rather get it out the mud, okay? Than be out here running behind a fucking psychopath that doesn't want to say he's my dad because he's a fucking psychopath. Like, whatever the fuck. I would have the ego to be like, fuck him and all of that, and I don't want to be a part of that world. But that's me sitting in my seat, understanding, a little middle ground in that, right? I don't know how son grew up, but if he grew up in stark poverty, right, in grave poverty, like a lot of young black men do, that would drive one crazy that their fucking dad is a billionaire and refuses to take a DNA test and give them 1 red cent, even though you're my fucking dad and I've gone through my life poor. You see what I'm saying? That's why I'm like, I don't. So yeah, I just kind of feel like if you didn't want to spend all of that money going back and forth to court, Mr. Billionaire, I don't understand why you just didn't take the DNA test. If you know it was just bullshit, if it was just felonious and, misrepresentations. Taking DNA tests could cost his freedom, as the woman would have been underage. The statute of limitations would have ran out on that, and they need a victim. The woman's dead. So, no. He would not be risking freedom. He would be risking money. And he's a billionaire, so you would think this wouldn't be a big deal. Not sure what the statute of limitations are, but this is probably why he's avoiding that DNA test. I went to high school with a boy that looked just like Lloyd Banks. We called him Lloyd Banks. Not once ever did we think he was Lloyd Banks' son. We had Fantasia and many other lookalikes. Yes, this is true. But according to these specific people, there is a connection. I truly believe that he must have dated or fucked with this girl at some point in order for them people to be fighting this hard. Like, it can't just be some random person that was never around. No. No. They fucked is what it gives. Or at least they knew each other. No, not statute of limitations on murder. But that's because I guess some of y'all think that he did. I don't know nothing about that. I'm talking about statute of limitations on having sex with a 15-year-old who is no longer 15, who's a grown, was not only a grown adult woman when she passed, but is also dead now. You don't have a victim to go to court for. I find it highly unlikely that you would be able to take a man to court about having a sexual relationship with a child when they were a child, if the child is no longer here, and if they weren't the cause of the child being no longer here, and the child became an adult. That's what I'm saying. But yeah, y'all, let's see. As he should. It's time celebrities start fighting back. Ooh, y'all dick riders make me sick. For those who only read captions and not the actual article, Jay didn't have to take a DNA test because another man was already the legal father and paid child support until Ramir was 18. I would like to say I just read this entire article. There was that was not in here anywhere. That was not in here anywhere. Okay, to be clear. Also, just because somebody was y'all know that niggas get put on child support and they don't be the dad. Okay? So that doesn't mean anything. A legal father doesn't mean a biological father. And paying for child support, a lot of times, is just if the woman is with you or y'all are married, then it legally automatically becomes your responsibility. It doesn't mean that you aren't the biological father. Okay? The courts have already dismissed these claims. This case is about keeping a judgment from being wiped out through bankruptcy after years of lawsuits and harassment. If someone cost me hundreds of thousands in legal fees, I'd be collecting too. Yes, but you're not a billionaire. God forbid we take that into consideration. Do you see I feel like the way people want you to excessively go after poor people and situations when they're up against somebody that's extremely rich with a lot of power? Yikes. I don't know what that's about. Y'all are weird. I don't understand how you all don't understand paternity has already been established with the biological father. Why do you think no judge has forced Jay-Z to take a paternity test? This is being said in the comments as if that was said in the article. That was not said in the article. That was not said in the article. It wasn't. I don't know why they keep saying that like somebody said that shit in an article. Let me see. Yeah, nobody would take a DNA test for a fucking stranger. But also, doesn't Jay-Z come off like the type of person that has a bunch of women he could have fucked and don't remember that he fucked them? I don't know. You let me know. You let me know. Because there's a lot of niggas that have fucked up many a girl on a drunk night, got her pregnant, didn't even really remember until she popped up with a baby talking about, here's your son. So the people in the comments are talking shit. So let's look it up. Let's look it up. What's that boy name? Ramir Satterwhite. What? Satterwhite? Okay. Ramir Satterwhite. Okay. Let's see. Okay. I mean, the boy dropped the suit last year. So if the suit has been dropped, I don't understand why you would not let this elderly lady get this shit put into bankruptcy so she's not, like forced out on the street to possibly have to pay you $100,000, the fucking billionaire. I'm sorry, y'all. I do think about these things a little deeper than people would like you to. Y'all feel like we should just always be very get back at everybody. And I think you should take things into consideration if you're not trying to be a fucking psychopath. I don't know. So let's see. Because I don't know where y'all get this shit that there was some DNA test with another nigga that proves something. But let's go to the article that E! News has from when the lawsuit was dropped. Ramir Satterwhite, the 30-year-old aspiring musician alleging to be the son of Jay-Z, said he dropped his federal lawsuit against the rapper due to a lot going on behind closed doors. Jay-Z's legal battle with the man claiming to be his biological son is over for now. Ramir Satterwhite withdrew his federal lawsuit against the 99 Problems rapper, who the 30-year-old alleges to have impregnated his late mom, Wanda Satterwhite, during the 90s. I did withdraw my case, Ramir confirmed in a July 27 Instagram video explaining that he dropped the suit because there was a lot going on behind closed doors. I have not stopped my fight, the aspiring musician continued. We got to step back and play chess, not checkers. E! News has reached out to Jay-Z's rep for comment about Ramir's withdrawal, but hasn't heard back. It's also a thing for very rich men to not want to claim children. I don't know if y'all know about that, but a lot of rich men are deadbeat dads when it comes to that. They'll have children with women that they don't like necessarily respect and, that don't fit into the confines of women they would want to have babies with. So when those women have babies, they like to act like they ain't have nothing to do with it, even if they do have a lot of money. You think them having money would mean you would just pay and, let the shit be what it is? No, they don't want to do that. However, in June 16th, court filing obtained by E! News, attorneys for the Grammy winner, real name Sean Carter, claimed Ramir's paternity allegations. The fabricated allegations and claims have been addressed and rejected in multiple other courts, the documents read, adding that the federal lawsuit was just the latest in what Jay-Z's counsel described as decades-long harassment. Furthermore, Jay-Z's lawyers allege Ramir's federal suit was not properly served, saying that the music mogul, who shares a daughter, Blue Ivy, 13, as well as twins Rumi and Sir with wife Beyonce, did not learn of its existence until 1 month after it was filed in May. In their response to Ramir's lawsuit, Jay-Z's attorney asked the court for additional time to evaluate the complaint and determine how to respond or otherwise plead. For his part, Ramir said in his complaint that he was not suing for reparational child support, but for damages related to emotional distress and reputational harm after Jay-Z allegedly committed fraud upon multiple courts, misrepresented facts, interfered with procedural due process, and exploited legal systems in multiple jurisdictions to express plaintiff Ramir's paternity claim. One, born in New York City, Brooklyn, Sean Corey Carter grew up in the notorious Marcy Projects. It was a very intensive, stressful situation. Trying to see. They just talking about Jay-Z's life in these posts underneath. I don't know why it's weird. What is it like? I don't know. To learn more about Jay-Z's life, keep reading, and then there's all of these little footnotes about him. But yeah, I don't see anywhere where there was some DNA test done on another man that proved that he was the father. I don't see that. Let me ask. Let me ask the Googler girl. Like the video. Was Ramir Sater-Wade identified as someone else's son? Let's see. Yes, Ramir Sater-Wade was originally identified as the son of another man named Robert Graves, who was listed as the biological father on his birth certificate. The details regarding his legal paternity timeline reveal how this transpired. The initial father, when Ramir's mother, Wanda Sater-Wade, gave birth in a hospital, her high school sweetheart, Robert Graves, was by her side. He was named on the birth certificate and reportedly paid child support for 16 years. The paternity test in 2010, a DNA paternity test, was conducted, which proved Robert Graves was not Ramir's biological father. Y'all, this is from Facebook. Okay. The shift to Jay-Z. Following that negative test result, Wanda and Ramir launched a decade-long battle asserting that hip-hop mogul Jay-Z was his true biological father. The court stance. Jay-Z's legal team frequently cited the fact that Ramir had a different legal father for 16 years as part of their defense. They successfully argued against forcing a DNA test, and federal courts ultimately dismissed the paternity lawsuits and with prejudice. So that means he can't refile, right? With prejudice means he can't refile. Let's see. Yeah, y'all. I think him asking for this lady to pay for his court fees of $100,000, which is nothing to him but a lot of money to her. Yeah, I think that's fucked up. I do think that's fucked up. I think you wanting to bankrupt this lady instead of just taking a fucking DNA test when you went to court. Yeah, I feel like that's really fucked up. Maybe it's just me. Judge Garnett previously dismissed Coley's paternity lawsuit with prejudice in November. It was dropped following a 15-year battle with Miss Sater-Wade, launched in a New Jersey courtroom over child support in 2010. Coley took over for Sater-Wade after she became terminally ill. The lawsuit was dismissed in 2012 after a judge determined it was filed in the wrong state. Coley and Ramir refiled in 2014, but the case became public in 2015 after they claimed Hove lied in order to get out of taking a DNA test. Following Miss Sater-Wade's death in 2016, Coley and Ramir continued their legal battle against Jay-Z. In 2023, Ramir filed his own federal paternity lawsuit against the father of three. In it, Sater-Wade alleged Jay-Z suppressed evidence, stole records, and negligently concealed and misrepresented maternal facts concerning his minimum contacts with the state of New Jersey. The fabricated allegations and claims have been addressed and rejected in multiple courts. Jay-Z's attorneys wrote last year. They also argued the lawsuit was part of Sater-Wade's decades-long harassment against him. Okay, y'all. So, listen. I feel like this sounds like when somebody that's rich and has influence doesn't want to deal with something and they're able to pay their way out of it. Like, I'm sorry, but why if you're brought, because that lady brought you to court in 2010, to me, it would give, I knew you was the dad. We knew you wasn't going to be a dad. So I was going to be with the man, my high school sweetheart, because he was going to help me be, raise the child because, the relationship is different, right? He's not a famous rapper. And the man did. The man paid child support and took care of the child, but they got a DNA test that said that that's not the daddy. So I don't know where these people in the comments is giving bots. It's giving bots. But I just, like this how you got to research sometimes the shit that people be saying to figure out that why is it this much of a concerted effort to spread misinformation and say that there was a DNA test done that proved that this man was somebody else's child when that ain't nowhere on the internet. Really? Listen, that's all I would want. I wouldn't want to tell nobody I was your child either, nigga. Give me the lake house. But boys are different. Boys are different. Because he doesn't have to take a test. He has never been forced by law to take a test. Yeah, but it's that's the only reason why we don't know for sure. That's the only reason why we don't know for sure. And it sounded like at the very beginning when the woman was alive in order to argue this, she probably could have proved the relationship, but it got dismissed on a technicality for not being in a correct jurisdiction. Which means it could have had some validity to it, but because of a technical situation, we're gonna get rid of it. I don't know. That's a lot of work. Bondi, sometimes it's bots and sometimes it's people with low reading comprehension skills. Yeah, I'm trying to find out where they got in there that this man took a DNA test and it proved that he wasn't Jay-Z's kid. Like that he was somebody else's kid. I don't know. And they, everybody look alike, but that nigga do look like that nigga do look like him, y'all. Oh, girl. So, we'll see. That's what happened with that. That's unfortunate. That's an unfortunate situation. But as much as I like Jay-Z, the nigga seems like a terrible person. Nigga seems like a terrible person. That's all I'm saying. It is suspect for you to put in this much effort to not take a test that you could have took in 2010 and just got done with all of this shit. And yeah, I don't know. That's just weird. Like the whole thing is weird. The whole thing is it's the weirdest shit, y'all. Like why the fuck would you go through all of this when you could just disprove this shit and be done with it? And then why go through all of this extra shit to make sure that somebody that I'm sure is already poor is not going to be even poorer? You like willing to put that lady on the fucking street for trying to prove that you the pappy? I don't know, y'all. That seems fucked up. I don't know. Maybe, hey, I don't know. But let's move on. The diddler. Diddy reportedly in solitary after allegedly choking inmate out at Fort Dix, reports say. I thought he was going to be having a really good time. Well, I mean, him choking somebody out doesn't mean he's not having a good time at Fort Dix. Apparently, he likes all of that rough play. Okay? That's what they say. They say the man likes the rough play. Okay? Who knows what was going on? Was it a lover's quarrel? I'm being facetious. Media personality and journalist Lauren LaRosa is reporting that Sean Combs is currently in the hole at FCI Fort Dix after allegedly getting into a physical altercation with another inmate. According to LaRosa, she was told Combs allegedly choked the man out and may now be facing up to 30 days in solitary confinement. She says Diddy's reps have not confirmed the claim, but also did not dispute her phone call to tell them about it. The story is still developing and has not been confirmed by Diddy's team. Child, we can't trust Diddy's team. But we should find out what the Bureau of Prisons say. Child. And the funniest part is he could have easily paid someone else to handle it for him. My boy want the full experience. Why do you think that is? Maybe it's because the nigga is a violent psychopath. Girl, I don't fucking know. Like maybe he's a terrible person that everybody thinks he is. Which would mean a nigga would be in jail looking for an opportunity to choke somebody the fuck out. Like I ain't choked nobody out since I got in here. I need to choke somebody out. But y'all don't think that men are like, y'all don't think these niggas are really out of control of themselves like this, I guess. I don't know. Ooh, he's gonna be in solitary? Yeah, we're still not over the fact that he's at
Fort Dix. He's at Fort Dix. And he's choking niggas out. Child, sounds like the type of shit that Young Miami is really into when, when he's out. Okay? Okay?
okay. All right. I'm sorry, I had to do it. So yeah, like good luck with that. Solitary confinement. Let's see if this thing gonna get out as soon as everybody think he gonna get out. I hope not. Chris Brown. Chris Brown, y'all. Chris Brown pled guilty to the UK assault case stemming from a 2023 incident at London's Tate nightclub. According to court proceedings, Brown pleaded guilty to one count of affray, while his co-defendant and vocal coach, Amulu Akinlu, also known as Hoodie Baby, entered the same plea. Prosecutors alleged the pair attacked the man inside the club, not you and your vocal coach attacking a nigga, accusing Brown of striking the victim in the head twice with a glass bottle before the assault continued as the victim tried to get away. Authorities said the victim suffered injuries to his head and knees. Although Brown had already left the UK after the incident, he was arrested in May 2025 when he returned to the country for his world tour. As part of the plea, more serious charges, including assault, causing grievous bodily harm, and possession of an offensive weapon, were dropped. Brown and Lolu are now scheduled to be sentenced in October. We'll see what that sentencing is looked like, but I'm sure it'll be another slap on the wrist. But he pled guilty, hoes. What y'all gonna say now? He pled guilty, ho. Where is that? Hold up.
He pled guilty. That means he did it. That means once again, Christopher Brown is being violent. So when we say that he's violent, he knocked the nigga upside the head with a bottle twice, beat him up in a club in the UK. He's violent. Why do y'all act like we're making it up? He took the deal.
He did it, okay? Let's see what the comments are saying, because that's always interesting. That's not our problem or business. He better be at that 11-8. I know that. This man facing a sentence, and the comments talking about the concert. First off, y'all talking about he can't stay out of trouble. This been happened. He was bothering him. Laughing emoji, because knocking a nigga upside the head with a bottle twice is really funny. It's really funny, right? A nigga being so emotionally out of control of himself that he's always willing to do something that might end up with him having to pay a large sum of money out in court. He can dance. I thought y'all said he was innocent and it was just a money grab. Where are all the people who said violence was in his past and people were just trying to paint a narrative about him? You know where they at. Somewhere suck on the internet, screaming free him until he free. My birthday in November. Y'all better be at the ATL show. I'm trying to be the birthday. So this is a nigga. A nigga is gonna be at that show in Atlanta for his birthday, and he wants to be the birthday. Okay. He might knock your head upside, knock your ass upside the head. If he took a guilty plea deal, I'm sure he's not going to jail. Probably probation and a fine, especially since they threw out the other charges. So do we now see like this is a continued pattern of him doing something violent and being able to get away with it because he's rich and famous with a good lawyer? So now a patterned, assaulter, a batterer is getting off again with a slap on the wrist. Afraid is literally a year in county jail. Please read. His lawyers will get him probation. I don't know what you're responding to. I don't care what he pled guilty to. I know he better be on stage in NOLA. Listen, they don't care what he did. Nobody gives a fuck about anything. Nobody cares. And you know what? That's fine because
evil is good. That's what I think. It must be.
it must be. I doubt this is going to interfere with the tour. Or he wouldn't have pled guilty. But also, let's remember, he put himself in this situation and he pled guilty. Everyone is not out to get this man. I don't know if he has emotional regulation or what, but he needs to do something because he's almost 40 and still doing the same stuff he was doing in his 20s. A lot of them are. A lot of them have not grown past 16, if you ask me. And it's cool for a 25-year-old to act 16 a lot of the times because y'all think that's so young for men, but not for women. All right, girl. One last thing. And that was this that popped up on my timeline. And I'm going to get out of here because I need to go take my walk and we have a show at 6. So, yeah.
Can we please finish talking about what we were discussing earlier, please?
About that working shit? No, it's a wrap for that. Don't even bring that shit up.
I don't understand why. Like, when I met you, I had dreams, I had aspirations. I have a degree that I'm not using.
Keep dreaming. We're here now. You don't have a care in the world.
It's not about not having a care in the world. It's about having something for myself. Like, it's you and the kids.
What do you need
and that
outside
is
of us?
Child, somebody in the comments says submission and oppression aren't the same thing. This is oppression.
Like what you looking for out there?
It's something for myself. It's
like
something
what?
for myself.
You keep saying that
like
you ain't saying nothing. What do you need for yourself? That a job is going to get you that you don't already have. You have money in your account. You don't have a bill. You don't have a
It's
car
not
note.
about the money.
You want to contribute? Your contributions in the house. You take.
Okay, just for a second. The difference between submission and oppression is that submission is a voluntary choice made by an equal, while oppression is a forced control used by someone in power to harm or crush others. Yeah, see, no, I don't even agree with that. I think they're the same thing. I think y'all call it submission. But when you really think about the definition of what submission is, it literally is a woman giving over power, giving over will to another person. And in our patriarchal system, you are not on equal footing. That's the whole point of you handing over your freedom to this man. It's because it's not equal. And that's the fucking problem. But you think you're submitting is something that should be like a virtue and you can separate it from oppression, but they're both the same thing. A woman ignoring or not being able to do whatever the fuck she wants to do because a man said so. You can call it submission. You can call it subjugation. You can call it oppression. You can call it whatever the fuck you want to call it.
Take care of the house.
But stop acting like anybody should be going along with the mentality that women should be submitting because this is how it turns out. This is how women feeling like they need to submit in a relationship. This is how that metabolizes. Let's listen.
House, you cook, you clean, because it's starting to sound like some other shit. And
it's not something else.
So I want a job. So now you're accusing me of some other shit, which means I must want to go out and cheat on you. I must want to make money so I could leave you like all them other suckers you done made famous. To me, at this age in my life without a gray hair in my head yet, I wish the fuck I would be having a conversation. And this is why niggas hate me. Because I make women realize how crazy they look and how crazy they sound doing shit like this. Not asking your permission to do what the fuck I want to do with my career. Are you okay?
That shit ain't happening.
It's not something else. It's me having something for myself.
That'll be a
outside
whole
of you and the kids.
A whole different life if you think that's.
Babe, it's not like I don't even understand how.
Why does it feel like you're threatening her? That'll be a whole different life.
We got there. Like I literally am just looking for something that I have for myself, and I'm not even listening.
Somebody said in the comments, let her work and tell her pay all the bills since she want to work so bad. So if you're not willing to be a slave and do exactly what I want you to do, ignoring what you want to do, if you're not willing to dishonor yourself for me, then I'm going to put all of the responsibility on you, even though what you're asking takes some responsibility off of me. It might put some other responsibility on you, like household shit and your children, but you don't want to do that. Y'all like that whole I pay the bill shit. Y'all like that because that's easier than having to play the role that actual active parents and spouses play. That's what it really is. You know that you're getting a better version of the deal when you get to be the provider, and she has to stay at home and dote on you and be around you all the time and have nothing for herself and be cooking and cleaning and all of that, being a maid, mattress, and a mule. When she's willing to maid, mattress, and mule for you, you're getting a better deal out of the marriage. But as soon as she gets a little bit more power, that would mean you would have to do more of the labor that she has to do. Then all of a sudden, oh no, bitch, we can't do this. And that's because you don't want to have to carry the load that she carries, but you want to act like what you're doing is so tough. A nigga in the comments saying, let her work and tell her to pay all the bills since she want to work so bad. I don't understand y'all wanting to be in relationships this bad. Because when I tell y'all, I would rather be by my fucking self and have a nigga I can call on a Friday night for some dick and tell him to go home before Sunday morning hit. Before I be married to a nigga that think I'm about to be giving over my life in such a way that I got to ask your permission for shit like that. I went to college. My career has always been my decision. I will talk to you about it and see what feels good for both of us and all of that type of shit. But I'm always going to do what the fuck I want to do with my career. Are y'all okay? Y'all are not okay.
To what I'm saying and how I feel.
You talking some bullshit.
You think it's red pill. The reason why I don't think it's red pill is because that nigga don't sound like he's pretending, and she only has the camera on herself. A lot of times when it's a skit or, you know, they trying to like really rage bait us and all of that, they show you too much. Like it's too many camera angles and shit. In real life, when you be trying to get the shit on tape so you can play it back or hear it, or really when women do this, they be wanting somebody to tell them that it's okay for them to feel like this is fucked up because they are always deferring to their husband. Because they always deferring to their husband as the only opinion that matters, it means their opinion doesn't matter. And sometimes they post these things because they need to hear that their feelings matter. It's just what it is.
So you just want me at home. That's not what, like, that's not the life.
Yeah, he not that good of an actor.
That we planned. We didn't plan that life. When we met.
We planned to have a happy family, stress-free. What don't you have out of that? How are you putting...
Can we please finish talking about what we were...
And it's definitely for, you know, people would definitely post on social media within itself for a bag, but that doesn't mean it's not real.
Because all this, you need something for yourself. You sounded ungrateful. And that shit
How
is
am I
pissing me off.
ungrateful for wanting something for myself?
What do you need that you don't have? You don't appreciate what you have.
it's not the same
You
thing.
just got some shit. Now you want some more shit.
Who is he talking to? See, when you start talking to a grown woman like she's a child, you just got some shit. Now you want some more shit. Because I want to go to work. You're like itemizing that like you just bought something. Right. In this economy? Exactly.
It's not the same.
You got everything that you need. Now you want more. You are ungrateful.
I had this exact conversation with my ex-husband. Listen.
That is the prime definition of ungrateful.
You're ungrateful.
I don't think, okay.
Like, can we be done with this? Can we be done?
Okay.
Like, I had enough of this shit. Because you sounded crazy. You want more. You want more. You want something for yourself.
the first comment, this is a skit, right? I can't imagine why anyone would put their private relationship business online like this. You can't? You can't? You can't. I can think of a plethora of reasons. Because they want emotional support from the crowd, because they want to validate their own feelings, because they want some type of attention from this, because they want some clout, because they want their social media presence to get a little bit more out there. Like, there are a plethora of reasons.
Ungrateful and selfish. You want something for yourself. Am I going out and getting extras?
What you mean, am I going out and getting extras? How is her going out and getting extras? How are you framing somebody wanting to have their own fucking life? How are you framing that as them being selfish? Do y'all hear this? Do y'all hear this? Child, I can't stand when a nigga call you selfish. That work on my fucking nerves. That was something my dad used to say to me all the time. You're selfish, you're selfish, you're selfish. I became a people pleaser because I was told how often I was selfish as a child. As if I'm supposed to be worrying about other people more than myself when I'm a fucking child. Now that I'm an adult, my brain is fully formed and I've read some books, I realize how crazy it is for you to ask me to put my newly formed brain on the back burner for your old ass and your emotions that you don't know how to regulate.
I'm doing all the work. I'm working every day.
Bitch asking to go to work and you in here using the fact that you working as a reason for her not to work. This is a skit. She is a rage bait content creator. Okay. It's a skit, y'all. Everybody relax. It's a skit.
Can I get some extras? No, I come home to you and the kids, everything you have.
Okay.
I'm doing all the work. I'm working every day. Can I get some extras? No, I come home to you and the kids. Everything you have is provided. Everything is taken care of already. What extra you need? Ungrateful and it's selfish.
I wasn't trying to upset you. I was just...
We passed that. You wasn't trying to, but you brought this shit up again. So how are you not trying? It feels deliberate.
Listen, I knew I couldn't take this shit. Why can't you take it seriously? The reason why I say that is because y'all act like these conversations are not really happening, even if it is a skit. Somebody in the comments already said they had a conversation like this with their husband. Somebody else mentioned Tisha and Marceau from Love and Marriage Huntsville, because we know that they was on that same shit. Like this is a real thing. So even if you want to call it a skit, it's definitely something. I mean, that's no different than TV shows and reality shows that we talk about. People are doing the same thing on social media, but it doesn't mean that the mentality is fake. Let's look at her whole page. Let's see. Thought he was a Russell, but I got a Future instead.
If you feel you've received this message in
That's not going through.
First of all, your days of communicating directly with her is done. If you need to communicate with her, you're going to contact me.
God,
so yeah, you're blocked on her number. You're blocked on her number. Excuse me, don't touch my door. You need to back up. You need to back up.
Just call her up. Hey. Lady
Stop
Bug.
making plans with her.
Ladybug,
Stop making plans with her.
Why you touching me?
Stop making plans with her without checking in with me.
Shorty, bugging, yo, I don't even understand how we got here. Like,
you don't understand how we got here.
Yeah.
Because you're showing up 3 days after her birthday from coming from a New York trip and telling her that you were going to tell her. Wait, hold on. You told her that she was.
You see what it is.
All right.
You see what it is.
You playing, and I don't.
We fresh off the float with it.
Exactly, but you told her you was on a. You told her you was on a work trip.
That is work. What you mean? That's the squad. Like, gang.
And you come empty-handed. So what are you here for?
Empty-handed? I ain't got no bread for you. It's for my. Come on, man. It's for my seed. Right. What are you doing?
You called her your seed.
Where they come from? They come from a.
Don't touch my door.
We was just Midtown.
He sounds drunk, and I honestly wouldn't even want him around my child like that because there's something like overtly sexual about the way he's coming off that I don't really like.
Because at the end of the day, Father's Day is for real fathers. He's not a real father.
Well, he's coming to get me today.
He's coming where?
He's coming to the house to pick me up so I can see him.
First of all, he didn't ask me if he can come and pick you up or come and see you. So he's not coming anywhere.
Why does he need to
And the
ask
fact
me?
that you guys are making plans and not checking in with me, wrong. Completely wrong, and it's not happening.
my dad.
He's not coming in.
That's my dad.
Okay, and where was he on your birthday?
He was in New York City for a work trip.
For a work trip?
Yes.
That's what he told you?
Yes.
Okay. You're not going with him.
Why?
Okay. Let's see. Child, I'm not even gonna listen to you talking about me. Let's see.
Where in the mall did they pierce your nose?
When did I say them all?
Oh, so now it's not the mall. So when did you pierce your nose and who pierced your nose?
Last week. It
Last week
doesn't
when?
matter.
Last week when?
Last week when I went out. Why does it matter?
When you went out where? Because the only place you were supposed to go was the mall. So you went out where? So this is
You know you can get a nose piercing at the mall, right?
why I don't allow you to do what you want to do. You're only 13.
What does that have to do with anything?
Take it out.
No.
Take it out now. If
I think my mom took me to get my nose piercing when I was 14. It was a really dope experience because my mom also had a nose ring, and everything my mom did when it came to her aesthetic, I always thought was so beautiful. And my mom had a nose ring, and I thought they were, I thought they were dainty. I thought they were cute. It wasn't about being grown. It was just about the fact that it was cute. I liked it. You know what I'm saying? It looked pretty to me. And so, behind my dad's back, my mom took me to get my nose pierced, and he didn't see it for like the first 2 weeks that I had it. And once he realized that I had it and he didn't even realize it, he said something about it, but me and my mom kind of finagled him leaving me alone about it. And I think I might have been like maybe either 14 or 16. I can't remember which one. I think it was 14. I'm lying. It was 16. It was 16 because it was before Katrina. So yeah, I was about 16. Y'all, time moves real weird during that time period for me when I think back on it. But still, like, yeah, no, I wouldn't want you to do that without me. But I also feel like y'all tend to like slut shame children about shit like this when really, it shouldn't. I don't think it needs to be all of that. It seems like I think that nose piercings are like cute. I think they're dainty. I don't feel like, especially on like women and girls, like I don't think it's a sexual thing. Like I don't think it has anything to do with that. This seems like one of them, like them moms with a fucked up mentality that has turned their fucked up mentality life into content. A lot of girls are doing this on TikTok, y'all. It's not skits. So now that we've looked through her page, this is not a skit. Let's look at, I think I just saw something else. When you marry a manipulator. So you already have a fucked up baby daddy, and it seems like you have a fucked up husband too. So yeah, y'all, like it's rage bait, but I think that it's real because it's all of her page. And she's also using her kids in it. And again, with the people being off camera shit.
So you woke me up for what?
You need to leave. I need you gone. Like, you gotta go.
Can we revisit this after the holidays?
No.
It's not the ring. It's the lie and sneaking around. Next, she's going to show up pregnant at 14. This is really ignorant. This is so fucking ignorant. Oh my God. Like, no, do you know why one would sneak and not tell their mom about something? Because their mom is a fucking crash out. When your mom acts like an asshole about every little thing that you do, you just start instinctually hiding shit you want to do because you don't want to argue with her about it. And a lot of people teach that it's best to, apologize than to ask for permission. Like, why y'all always gotta be so weird?
No, today We not doing the after holidays and
Yeah, she's so subdued and calm with the man, but the kids, pure aggression. That is like, cause you don't want them kids. That's why. Cause you a bitch that'll have kids for a nigga, don't really want the fucking kids, treat the kids bad, and you wonder why they keeping shit from you. Cause you a weirdo, bitch. Cause you're an angry ass weirdo.
prolonging this whole process. No.
So you're gonna ruin the holidays for.
I'm not saying what I mean. I wouldn't say she's wrong for lying. She didn't lie. She just didn't tell you about it. And what do you mean belligerent? Responding is being belligerent? Come on, bro. Y'all be way too hard on these fucking kids when at the end of the day, y'all be mean ass people as parents. Like y'all be mean ass, disrespectful as parents and be like, oh my God, my kid doesn't trust me.
Everyone, for the kids, for
the holidays
my family.
Wasn't on your mind when you did what you did. Hey, we're not doing this. This is cyclical. This is a cycle, what you know.
Okay, but what? Okay, so your birthday, I was planning something.
She's calm with her husband because she's scared of him. So that means she respects him. You don't really, you're not scared of your children because they're smaller than you. So you have no reason to respect them. So you have, to a lot of people, they don't understand that you should be able to be like respectful and kind to your children simply because they're your children. But a lot of people they don't feel respect for people that are weaker than them.
Real big.
That's
and
fine.
now
I don't think piercings lead to pregnancy either. I also don't think lying leads to pregnancy because I also used to lie. We used to lie to my dad because my dad was a crash out. Did I end up pregnant? No. Actually, I didn't. And I got on birth control as soon as I started fucking.
My birthday, I don't need anything.
Can we,
No, that's 7-8 months out. No.
So there is no reconciliation right now?
No. There's always a reconciliation. There's always a reclamation. There's always a recycle. We're not, no. You gotta go.
Are you really doing this right now?
No, you doing that right now on the camera?
Yo.
I've been trying. I've done everything that you asked me to do.
You being real studio right now. You gotta go.
Yeah, no, something is absolutely wrong with this bitch. What do you mean? But y'all act like this ain't a lot of them. Those weird pick-me moms that treat their kids like shit, but are so submissive to a man. Girl, this is the same mom as the mom who was letting the nigga take the hinges off the door of her daughter's room. She one of them mamas.
Where in the mall did they pierce your...
Oh, not this one. Let me see. What was I looking at?
So I just wanted to come on here with an update. It's been a rough past few days for me. I'm just trying to come to terms with what's really happening here. Tried to call my aunt a couple other times just to see if I could...
Somebody said, okay, now I know all these videos are fake. Like, how do she keep getting clues by accident? Her whole page is all for content. Interesting, though. It is all for content. It is all for content. And she is playing it up. But the more she includes her family and her children into the situation, the more I feel like this is what's actually happening in her life. And she's probably playing it up for the camera that she's holding like reality TV people do. It doesn't mean that the shit isn't actually happening. It just means the way they're exploiting it is produced.
Excuse me. Excuse me. Hey, I'm not from around here. I'm looking for the highway. I'm trying to get back to South Buffalo. You know where I'm supposed to go?
Go out to the boulevard, make a right, and just get on the highway. It's gonna be on your right hand side.
Ooh,
about a mile down.
I'm so bad with directions. Can you kind of just take me out that way?
No, I'm not going that way. I'm going the opposite direction. But if you go right out here, you make a right, A mile down, it's gonna be on your right hand side.
Now you holding a phone recording me. You ain't got no GPS, bitch. But yo, this tracks. Think about, what E Kane. Think about E Kane. Think about Blueface and all of them. Like, these people are literally toxic. This is their life. They just have figured out that they can get viewership while doing it. Yeah, that's what's going on, y'all. That's what's going on. That's why, like, they be the pick-me's, girl. The pick-me's and the slow-ass niggas that they be with. But thank y'all so much for coming through for the show today. Okay, all my members, y'all make sure y'all come back through for 6 o'clock. Follow BondyBlue Bites, okay, where I cut up these long-form lives and make them into short little videos for you guys. So please follow my secondary channel, BondyBlue Bites. Follow me on Instagram, TikTok. Y'all follow me on TikTok. Please follow me on TikTok. Please follow me on TikTok. If you're on TikTok, like, really, please follow me on TikTok. Thank you. Yeah, watch out for the weirdos. At the end of the day, to me, ladies like women like that are dangerous to their children. And I feel like that's absolutely real. Because why is you putting your children out on this platform like this? Like, you're not showing us them, but just your interactions and your mothering, problematic as fuck. Okay? But this is a content creator, making her life content like a weirdo. All right, y'all. I think I'm done.
What did you learn?
Oh, sorry. I'm done. And I'll see you guys at 6. I love y'all. Have a nice rest of your day. And tip me. Peace out.